Oh my God, it's happening! It's coming! I think I'm dying! Feel scared and excited!
Blood alone moves the wheels of history!
Good evening, everybody. I gotta get me a better intro. My editor's gonna work on that very, very soon. I'm so glad you guys are joining me for, well, I said it was gonna be the last public stream, but that might not be entirely true, because if things are fun tonight, I think we might do this like maybe quarterly or something, where we'll just kind of go over what's coming up. Games, movies, shows, things like that look like fun, watch some trailers, talk about them, see what looks good, see what looks bad. And then we'll do the private stuff where we'll get a little more interactive once the memberships are up. I am not a professional, and so the memberships were supposed to be ready to go today, and this was like supposed to be a big reveal, and I don't have them ready to go because I'm really I'm great at this job. So next week probably, but when it happens, we'll do the interactive chats. They'll go private, and what I'm hoping for is we'll watch some stuff together. You guys give me ideas, and we'll kind of work on a video with your input. And the idea of the memberships is to let people get a little more interactive with the channel and kind of, speak into what actually gets made instead of if that's what you're into. So really, really excited to see you guys. Despot's here. That's exciting. I have a celebrity because he's over 100, and his worst of woke was today, which was excellent. So glad to see you guys in here. How you doing, Dark Box? Tabitha, always good to see you. Evening, Shrevin. Thank you guys so much for coming. So that's right, guy. You guys are members in my heart, but we'll do real memberships once I'm professional. I also last year I made a video so today I had this video about the new Captain America Brave New World coming up, and last year I made a video about why the whole swap thing was dumb. And if I were a professional, I would have said something at the end of the video like, "Hey, also watch this," and there would be a box. And oh man, it's just yeah, as content creators go, I gotta up the professionalism. Oh, Em and him doing excellent. Today's a good video day. Good videos days put me in a good mood because I live and die by the numbers, as do we all. Hello, gorgeous. Thank you so much. She's real. This wasn't here before, I promise. So let's do this. Let's jump into this because we've got a lot of stuff to go through, and I want to watch some previews with you guys. Take a look at what looks great, what we're actually excited. There's a lot of stuff that I'm really excited for. And so a lot of tonight, and I want you guys to, if you have suggestions for things that you want to watch, stuff, trailers or whatever things you want to talk about, we can pull them up. We'll look at them because I think there's a lot of great stuff coming up. There are a few things that are coming up that I'm excited for as a content creator because it's just free views. Like Captain America 4 is just free. They're just asking me to make lemonade from their stupid lemon movie. And the same thing with Snow White. They're just, here, YouTube, here, please make videos. Please make this. But most of the stuff I'm actually really excited for. Like, I think a lot of this looks really, really good. And you might be surprised. This one on screen, Sonic 3 changed me because it was such a fun movie. It was so much fun. And it wasn't the greatest, written film. There were sequences that were just really dumb. Like, if you guys haven't seen it, they have to do a heist with lasers, and then they just start dancing and the lasers are hitting them. And at one point the editing is so goofy that the lasers actually hit their skin because the suits are supposed to reflect the lasers. It didn't matter. I didn't give a crap. It was Jim Carrey was having fun with Jim Carrey, and there were lasers and stupid suits, and I was having a blast. So with that in mind, the Thunderbolts, I do not believe is going to be good in any way. I have no illusions that it's going to be a good movie by writing standards or the normal standards that we use. But I do think that for the kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine, the first time you watch it, I think Thunderbolts might be kind of fun. Just if you go, and this is such a sad thing that I have to say this, but if you go into this Marvel movie and you just sort of check your brain out, which in the past I've been critical of people to say that, so I understand that sounds really terrible, but if you go in knowing this is a dumb movie. This is the dumb comic book movie that people used to say Marvel always was. I think that this could be a fun time once. I think Red Guardian is a fun character because I'm a dad. It's dad humor. I think Yelena is. I know a lot of people. She's polarizing. Like a lot of people don't like Yelena. I think she's pretty fun. She's like the snarky version of Black Widow. I think she's great. Obviously, John Walker's a big favorite. Bucky's a big favorite. Really, the only two that I don't give a crap about are Taskmaster and the is it Ava, the Ghost? I don't know. So Starling, I saw this today while I was gathering some other stuff. We are going to look at this later. We're only going to watch the first trailer for Sinners. We're not going to watch the second one. The second one gives away too much. I'm only going to show you guys the first one because if you haven't seen this, you only want the first one. It'll set you up and get you excited. It's really, really good. We are Echo and Despot and I are trying to get back together. I think we're trying to set up an Oscar stream this Sunday night in the Americas to go over some of these crazies. I got to watch the rest of those, but we're gonna get back to the Tuesday night thing very, very soon. So this one, like I said, I know that a lot of this is goofy. And we're doing the Fat Thor thing, which a lot of people didn't like, but I just think that it really goes with his character. I think that was the issue with Thor, is that it was a downgrade, but this guy has always been kind of goofy. I don't know. I got a place in my heart for Red Guardian. I just think he's great. I think he's a lot of fun. I also don't know how to do this. I don't know how streamers do this. If I have to I don't know if the screen size matters or not. I have no idea. Yeah, we're gonna get back in the streams. You know what? I'll tell you what. And I don't know. Despot was here. I don't know if Echo's here or not. Maybe he'll watch this later because I'm gonna fluff him up a little bit. I haven't done a ton of streams, but Echo is fantastic as a host. His streams are structured, and he does games, and he's got like activities, and he gets the people involved. Like I love the fact that he's the one that hosts our streams because he's really, really good at it. So I don't know if you guys have seen this one yet. Yeah, so full. So for like I know that writing is very. I understand that that's very like 5 years ago Marvel, and people are getting over that humor. Like it's getting very formulaic. I don't know. I give that guy a pass. I have a special place for Red Guardian. I am a little confused as to what they're going to do with John Walker there. I mean, I guess it makes sense. The Fall of a Hero thing. Just the show is. Ugh, I just rewatched the show to make the video for today, and it's just the way they handled it was absolutely terrible. And I don't know what they're going to do with Bucky. Like, why is he at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Those of you that have watched it, he's not. The redemption arc was not amazing, and they really didn't handle him as well as they should have. They focused way too much on this sympathetic terrorist thing. But at the end of that show, I don't understand why Bucky is on this like villain team because he's one of the good guys at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I'm interested to see what they do with that. There's a scene in this trailer, those of you that have seen it, that like he's riding up on them, so he's obviously coming after them. I don't know how he gets to be part of the team. I don't know. Oh no. Oh shit. Oh, I'm glad you guys said something. Hold on. Let's sort this out. Oh, I'm glad somebody said something early because why? But why though? Super professional. Hold on just a second. try it again. Oh. Okay. Okay. There we go. A little bit of testing. Are you guys hearing that now? All right, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh, those of you guys are coming in. Thank you so much for joining in. This is well, I was gonna make the last private stream, but I'm kind of changing my mind on that a little bit. We might do these like preview streams publicly for a while, but then the rest of them will go private. We'll do a little more interactive thing. All right, excellent. Yeah, my kids are dying about Dogman, and I have a date scheduled with my wife tomorrow night, and so we can't go tomorrow night. My kids are freaking out. I think we're gonna have to go to a Saturday matinee to see Dogman. I'm actually excited about that one. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a really, really good time. So I'm a little interested. Like I said, I think it's gonna be kind of fun. I don't think a lot of it's gonna make any sense. I am interested. Like, why are they fighting up? How do they get this team together? Obviously. Obviously, what's her face? Baroness.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody.
I don't know anything about Bob either. I'm not a comics guy, so I don't know who Bob is. He's supposed to like super powerful or something, so we'll see how that goes. But
You're
I'm hoping that there's more Baroness. Because basically she's Celine Meyer, and I just want to see more of that.
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow Ops.
It's a vulgar show, but it's a
Contract kills.
her comedy in that is
So, someone wants us gone.
Yeah, I don't really get it. Who's trying to kill them because she organized all of this. So why would she find them all?
That there are good guys and there are bad guys.
What's the plan?
I gotta pause it around. See, and like stuff like that, like washing his arm in the dishwasher. I get it. I fully understand how people are over it. I won't fight anybody about that. I got a little soft spot for it. I have a little bit left. Just a little.
This could get messy.
But eventually, you come to realize that there are bad guys and there are worse guys and nothing else. Look at you. So
It's like there could be some cool action scenes.
adorable.
I don't know. We'll see. MC Celine Meyer is great.
Don't worry, she's bulletproof. What happened to bulletproof? It's bulletproof-ish. Is that Bucky?
That's no good.
Yeah, it's like why is he? So I'm interested to see where they go with that. I don't know. Don't know what's going on with that. Did anybody ever explain who Bob is? Because I know Typhon asked about it. Yeah, and this has been like, this is just such a problem with the MCU right now that they're all over the place. They don't, I was actually watching a video today about some stuff that they set up and they canceled. I guess there was supposed to be an Armor Wars show. They canceled that because Secret Wars was atrocious. So now things are all over the place. They don't have a plan anymore. What you got to know about Dogman, Cameron, is that it is a kid's book. It is a police officer who is injured in the line of duty. Half of his body is injured, his head, and then his dog's body is injured, and they graft his dog's head onto his body, and he fights crime as half man, half dog. It's awesome. And that's in the same, if you guys have seen Captain Underpants, it's like the same type of comedy, same style animation and everything, which Captain Underpants is another one that you guys should go see. That's such a fun. It's just fun. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys are excited about Thunderbolts. I don't know if I'm I get it. Like I said, I'm never going to fight with anybody who's saying that they're meh on Thunderbolts. I know a lot of people are going to hate it, and I might just like be trying to be optimistic. I don't know. But for some reason, I just can't bring myself to hate this movie like a lot of other MCU stuff. I don't know if they're just not taking it as seriously. I don't know. I'm not sure if I just like the concept, but it's Sentry, like, and he's like so Sentry's like super powerful, right? He's kind of overpowered, and I thought I heard some things that might be a bit of an issue, that they may have to dial him back to make the movie make sense in any kind of way, so that might create some kind of plot problems or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see how Thunderbolts goes. I think that one, if they didn't spend a ton on it, I think that one has a chance of doing okay, because it just looks like fun. And especially with all the preachy stuff, like if Captain America 4 is as preachy and disjointed and just weird as I imagine that it's going to be, this will seem like a breath of fresh air compared to that, is why I think that it's going to be better received than a lot of the other stuff. It's going to have the Deadpool and Wolverine vibes, but still be kind of in the main MCU with a few characters people care about. Like, I know people love Bucky, people love John. I think it could be okay. It's not going to be like $1 billion. It's not going to be a blockbuster or anything, because the MCU's time is a little past. But and I mean, like, look, you can see this. Like the like ratio is even good on this. I think there's a lot of goodwill for Thunderbolts. And like I said, I don't expect it to be good in the sense of how we would normally grade movies, but I expect it to be a good time. So something that I don't know if I'm excited about this or not. Because I have kids, I don't play a lot of online games anymore as much. And before I start this one, I know you guys can hear it now. I don't know if it's too loud or not. So if I need to kind of turn this down a little bit, let me know. But I don't get into online games as much anymore because I have kids. I don't like things I can't pause. I don't like things that I have to queue up and rely on people for. Something that, if there is anything that's going to be online, honestly, Marvel Rivals kind of sounds interesting because the rounds are pretty short. Stuff like that I can get into. Like Rocket League, if you guys have ever heard of Rocket League, it's basically soccer with rocket-powered cars. It's awesome. And the games are 7 minutes apiece. You can just jump in, play a quick casual game, jump back out. So that kind of thing appeals to me. This Elden Ring game, Elden Ring's a fantastic. I love it. I love both style games, and I really enjoyed the DLC they put out. I had a few. There are valid criticisms about it for sure, but I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know if dedicated co-op holds, because their online stuff has always been a little finicky. Like the player versus player stuff, the cooperative stuff. It's always been my least favorite part. And one of the things I like about it is that it's pretty much like sectioned it off, that you only had to do it if you really, really wanted to. You kind of had to take the step to do it. Whereas in other games, it could just happen to you, and I wasn't really crazy about that. But and so I want to be excited about it, but the online stuff, I don't know. Like these games are kind of famous for being sort of hard, like that you can't make a lot of mistakes. You need to really watch the way that the enemies are moving and stuff. And so if you're having to rely on other people,
of redemption, you were
then
chosen.
What if they screw up?
Thrown
And that really
together by
ruins your
forces beyond
play.
their control.
That's the thing that makes me a little nervous. I can definitely watch them keep it going. And that is what's great about this. It has stuff from other games. I was watching this, and it looks interesting. And then in a second here, I previewed this earlier, and I'm actually sad that I didn't watch it live. I was freaking out. I mean, look, it just looks cool.
Tragedy must be averted.
That's a Firekeeper from one of the other games. So, like, they're bringing in stuff from their other games, and they're
And for that,
not a multiverse
I
thing. You know,
need
that
your
word
help.
bothers a lot of people. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're bringing in a lot of their other properties. So this is just like a big, cold-like game. That's fun. And they know what they're doing. And I love it, honestly.
The night is far from over.
Right there. Oh my god. I was losing my mind when the unnamed king. Like, I didn't notice the other one at first. I was sort of half watching it, and then I saw that, and I was like,
Back in the land.
What? What?
I will.
That's not one of Dragon Ball from Dark, the original Dark Souls, but maybe they'll bring that one. At least the one that falls up over the sewer.
Approach.
Some of the stuff looks so cool. Yeah, I should turn that down. Thank you, thank you. I wasn't sure if I could be heard over or not.
Band together and prepare to play.
No, I've never heard of that one. I'll look that one up.
The life of the Night Lord.
Yeah, so that looks great. Like I said, I'm curious to see, because it's a co-op experience. So they're designing this one to be played online with other people, and these games don't have like voice chat or anything. I don't think they're going to introduce that. I've heard anything about that, so I'm interested to see how much grace there will be for other people if they're not great. If that's going to make the game not fun, if you're having to rely on that could be a serious problem. The original Thunderbolt concept Thunderbolts was there. Actually, Villains in Disguise led by Zemo, and they pulled away Zemo because he always wanted to go too far. See, that to me, that's a great concept. I like the whole Baroness concept. I like this idea of MCU Veep. But I also like Zemo. I thought he was one of the few interesting villains. This kind of collateral damage coming, your actions coming back for you sort of thing. I thought Zemo was a very interesting motivation. He made for a great villain. Yeah, and the Young Avengers. The problem with their Young Avengers is that two of them nobody likes. Nobody likes Ant-Man's daughter, and nobody likes Riri Williams. And I don't think this show in June is going to make that any better. I don't know if I can find a trailer for that. I don't think they've released a trailer for that or not. That's another one that I'm looking forward to as a video creator, because it's going to be atrociously bad and preachy and horrible. And Marvel's just asking me to make videos about it. And that's fine. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. I'll do it. I have not. Look, I don't have time for every game, but I'm excited. I'm excited that No Man's Sky is still doing cool things. Like, I'm excited that they're still. I'm excited that they're still expanding and everything. And they had a rocky start, and that's a really cool story in gaming where they launched this thing. They overpromised and underdelivered, and they got a lot of flack. And the guy it's a small studio, the guy that makes it, he went back to the drawing board and was like, you know what, you're right. I kind of lied to everybody. I overpromised a lot of things. And then later on, he released a bunch of free updates, and the game works great now. It gets nothing but praise. That's the kind of thing that we love to see. I mean, I hate that he released a broken game to begin with, but at least they worked on it. $10 from Visual Anxiety. Thank you so much. Long time listener, short time in the comments, like I'm a radio host. What do you think of them putting remakes of great songs in these trailers? I think it was such a cool idea at first, and now it's starting to get played out. I mean, at least they're doing remakes, I guess. They're not just doing the same Led Zeppelin song again and again. As long as the song fits, I don't mind. Like, I'm trying to make an effort to get away from the criticism of things just having been done before. I've said that in videos a lot, and I'm trying to check myself and get away from that, because that doesn't always mean, like, if the execution is good, the execution is good. So it's something that I'm working on. And it's one of my goals for 2025 is to stop being like, well, it's been done. Well, yeah, maybe it has been done, but who gives a shit if it's good? So, if they do a good job, then they do a good job. But like I said, at least they're getting away from friggin' Rolling Stones. What's the name? Allow me to introduce myself. That was I can't ever think of the name of that song. They're getting away from that one, at least. Yeah, no, there's no faith in Ironheart. I don't think anybody does at all. It's going to be terrible. I did play Neo 1, and I have Neo 2. I just haven't made time for it, which I need to get back to, because I do like Souls-like. It wasn't Painted Black. It was, what's the one? Allow me to introduce myself. Or Man of Ill Intent or whatever. Pleased to meet you. Hope you forget my name. It was the one they used for Dial of Destiny and they used for a billion things. Anyway, the Elden Ring thing, I'm super excited about it. I'm going to play it because I like FromSoft games anyway. I want to go back and play some old games because in the PS2 era, they had this game called like Eternal Ring or Magic Ring or something like that. It was an old like first person magic style game where you had to collect these magic rings from this cursed island, and it looked clunky as all hell, but I want to go Sympathy for the Devil. That's the one. I want to go back and play that one and just kind of experience their old stuff. So this next one, Ballerina, was supposed to come out last year. I made a looking ahead to 2024 video last year, and it's weird to see some of the things that I was excited about last year never got put out. I don't know what happened, but they didn't come out. The thing is, I have not seen John Wick 3 and 4 yet. It was one of those, like, it was in my queue forever, and then it just dropped off, and I need to make a point to get back to it. So I don't even know who this character is. But I did watch the first 2 John Wick movies, and they're cool as shit. They're so cool looking. Some of the choreography is outstanding. I mean, they're just, it's, if you like stylish action, that's what they made it for. They were like, hey, do you like stylish action? We're going to give it to you every single frame in John Wick. If that's what you want, 100%, we're going to serve it to you. Not a whole ton of story. Who cares? This dude is dangerous and everybody's terrified of him, and he kills a lot of people, and it's stylish as hell, and there's neon lights and glass is breaking, and it's just fantastic. And this one looks like it's going to be a continuation of all of that. This is Ballerina.
Do you like your dogs? I know a school where they teach dogs is.
You know, something else was one of those Q things that I forgot to get to was the World of John Wick show that was on Peacock that had, who was that guy? His younger self. So terrible with names. I gotta get my wife in here because she's so much better with names than I am. Did you guys watch that one? Did you guys watch the World of John Wick, the prequel series that they did? Because I feel like that one came and went, and it makes me think that it wasn't that great because nobody talked about it at all.
I could take you there if you'd like.
Transistor is amazing.
To stop the assassin, you must become the assassin. You will always be weaker.
Which John Wick movie was she from? Because I feel like she looks familiar. Is she the one that got killed at the end of 2? Is she the one that betrayed him?
You will always be small. You want to win? Improvise. Adapt. Cheat.
Ooh.
Welcome to the continent. Eve Macaro of the Ruscaroma.
I will never get tired of a character going into a room full of guns and doing the whole suit up routine. You're beautiful. You mean you ready?
Would you live stream, please?
I'm live streaming. I'm just letting you move past.
Did you?
Yeah. She does the little crosswalk run too. Just the little, like, you didn't move faster, but you moved your arms. Oh man. But the I will never ever get tired. And there's another trailer, I can't remember which one, but they do it in that one too. I'll never get tired of a character who's like, I'm on it, I gotta do something, and I gotta go into a room and there's a bunch of guns with plexiglass that's backlit and they're all organized and beautiful. Never ever will I get tired of that. Oh, thank you so much, Brian. $20. Good Lord. The greatest work. This Trio's going to get back together. We're trying to make that work. It's, I don't know what I'm supposed to, somebody has a busy personal life, and then hopefully they'll talk about that later. But no, we're trying to work that out. Hopefully Sunday we'll do the Oscar stream. But thank you so much.
What a pleasure
Continental,
to
that was
see
the
you
one.
again.
Yeah, I don't know. I overpaid.
You have no idea what you just walked into.
Daryl? Pilot.
They killed my father.
I gotta pause. I don't know. That's what I see other streamers do. I guess it's a copyright thing. I'm trying to be professional.
This isn't done until they're dead.
Fate is a very humbling thing.
Oh, yeah, that's the clothing he has. Yeah, but that's I like therapy. I'm 39, so I was told not to say anything personal in
You're him.
or people would come to my house. That's
The one
That's
they
what we were
called the
told,
Baba
right?
Yaga. How do I start doing what you do?
I feel like Keanu Reeves, this is going to be a Red Hulk situation. He is going to be in this for that scene alone. And I bet you he's going to be all over the posters. My kids were joking about that. They were like, wow, who's this Red Hulk? What's that about? And I'm like, oh, he's hardly going to be in the movie. And they're like, well, he's all over the posters. I'm like, yeah, that's because Marvel knows the movie's bad. And so they're trying to get people in with Harrison Ford and Red Hulk, but he's going to be there for 2 minutes.
Looks like you already have.
Yeah, he's not gonna. That one looks good. Yeah, they're gonna pitch it like he is. I'm excited about that one. I am. See, Duke's old too. If you hear that song and hear "Hold Me Close, Young Tony Danza," you're old just like me. Yeah, that's one I'm pumped about. Again, I know. I mean, it is what it is. Like you know what you're going into. You're going for a stylish action movie, and that's what they're going to deliver. And I think that's fantastic. I think it's going to be successful on that one. This, yeah. That's the thing. I think that I've seen debate about the Harrison Ford bit. Some people think that he's like old and played out. I think enough people remember Clear and Present Danger and Air Force One, and they want to see Red Hulk. And I think that Harrison Ford is a bigger draw than some people want to give him credit for. That folks are going to want to show up to see him. He's still a star. He just is. So this, I want to be excited for this. But I pre-ordered Borderlands 3, and it was very underwhelming. It was a studio that clearly had a bunch of new people, and they were just trying so hard to recapture what made them great. And as I get older, I know that the humor that we used to like is also getting old, and it's getting stale. And I think that might be an issue too, is that if I haven't played Borderlands 2 in a long time, and it's like such a fan. I played so many hours of it. It was outstanding. And I've heard a lot of people say that if you go back and play it, a lot of it sounds really cringy now. It sounds very immature. And I haven't gone back to try that yet, but a lot of people have said that it didn't very well. And Borderlands 3 was just them trying really hard to emulate their own success. This one looks really gritty. So I don't know if they're going to try to get away from the goofy humor. I'm not sure. This is a cool trailer, though. A new planet. I did look into this a little bit. It's a brand new planet. They're getting away from Pandora, it sounds like. They're going to... Oh, gosh, I pulled this up because they're... I don't know. They're going to a new planet. New villain. There's going to be cameos from these Cult Hunters, but I think they're trying to move away and not rely so much on their old stuff, which I think is a really good thing. The games are older. The last one was not looked upon well anymore, and you can see like this one's got a pretty good like ratio. I think people still like the series. It's had three disappointment. Oh, there I go. And a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people are not crazy about these new Vault Hunters. Like I've heard people say they're very basic looking. This dude on the end, he absolutely does look very boring. He's like we have Axton at home is what he looks like. The Siren, I think she looks kind of stylish. This Barbarian fella, I think he's the coolest one. And later on in the trailer, he's got like some like axes that pop out of his wrists, which I think are cool looking. And then this engineer gal, I'm not sure what to make of her yet. I don't know if they're going for like a nerdy girl thing here. I don't know. They haven't really a whole lot about it, but I remember after the game was a big talk about it. People were saying, "Man, these people just perform. They don't look very unique. They don't stand out." The point of that is just that the fourth game, and it's hard to stay in the style of the game and not look like the style. Like, how do you look unique if you don't change things up? And they are still trying to play within this health-hated look. I think overall, the environment and you can see some ball punches fast. There's going to be grappling hook mechanic you just saw right there. That was it. That was the thing where that was like the barbarian guy, and he has these elemental axes that pop up out of his gauntlets or whatever, and he's going to put them doing his abilities. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just asking to get hurt again by being even remotely excited about this after the way that I was burned by the previous one, stupid villains and just the really try hard writing that they had. One thing that I am excited about, because I did pull this up, is apparently they're going to go a lot deeper with the skill trees. And I'm excited to see, I want to see that, because there's no pictures of it yet, but I want to see that. I love a good skill tree, especially when it's not just 5% more damage or whatever. Something that Borderlands 2 did really well is their skill trees really changed the way the game played. And when you have a series that's old like this, and they're trying not to get too far away from the core concept, but still keep things fresh, I think the way that if they're really going to invest in something, they need to invest in skill trees that are like the actual trees are super duper different. And depending on where you put the points, the same character could play 2, 3, 4 very different ways. If they really focus on that and make each one feel like a unique style, like a unique subclass for each of those characters, that I think is a winning formula. But if they just go to the, oh yeah, there's a bunch of points in each one. Oh, you get 2 extra bullets. There's 5% extra damage, whatever. Like if you really can't feel it while you're playing, then it just feels like, okay, well, I clicked a button and I see the numbers get bigger, and like that's fine in a Diablo game or something. But in these, I want to feel like it's different. I want to feel like the game actually plays differently. If they can manage that, great. But I don't know. I'm not sure if they have it anymore. I don't know if 2K, how like these big developers, we're seeing them crash out real hard because they're bloated. They're terrified to put anything that they might consider remotely edgy in the game. So they all feel very boring. They have huge teams. They get feature creep. Like these big studios they're being crushed under their own weight. And I mean, look, 2K is they're a big studio, Gearbox, a big studio. Like I'm sure they're suffering from the same problems as Blizzard, EA, BioWare, all of these folks. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. Maybe I just need to turn me up a little bit. Hang on just a second. Check my own audio. Maybe I'll just move it closer. I got a new desk, and I used to have like an arm where the microphone would just come down by my face. And I might need to bring that back. Come on closer. One thing I need to do is get back. I got to get Echo to start doing shows again so that I get in the habit of streaming. All right. Let me know if that sounds better. If not, I can. We'll turn the gain up a little bit. Play around with this Blue Yeti. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Better. Good. Okay. So, it's clipping just when I play the audio. So I got to just pause it. See, that's that streamer professionalism. All right. Yeah. So we'll just have to see. Where was it? Yeah, it's the writing. I mean, that's the thing. That was, for those of you that never play these games, I can't recommend Borderlands 3, but I can recommend Borderlands 2 because the writing was fantastic. It had an excellent villain. His name was Handsome Jack. He was scary, but he was charismatic. He was a really, really well written, but he had funny lines. There was a lot of really lot of funny lines in that one. The only real complaint that I had was that sometimes they had these great lines, but they would happen. They would be triggered while you were walking through the game, and then a fight would break out and you couldn't hear them and it wouldn't pause. That was the only thing that I had an issue with. The writing for that one was a lot of fun. Anyway, hopefully I'll keep an eye on that one. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get some more information about that. This, though, I'm so excited. This is a series, again, it's hard to keep having a game stay close to the core concept, but then be able to add something to it or expand on something. And the director for Doom Dark Ages, he acknowledged that there are a lot of things that they're not doing in this game that they did in Doom Eternal. And he stated, and we're going to hear it in the video, that he said, look, I don't want to just make the same game over and over again. And I understand that maybe it's going to bother some people, but why just play that same thing? Why not try it up, iterate it on a little bit?
After id Software's brilliant revival of Doom in 2016 and its even tighter 2020 sequel Doom Eternal, it'd be hard for Doom to soar any higher. So it isn't. Instead, it's keeping both feet planted firmly on the ground and bringing the high-speed, high-skill ceiling first-person shooter even closer to the scores of Hell's Minions in the medieval-tinged prequel Doom: The Dark Ages.
What speed do you guys usually watch your videos on? Because like 1.5 is my minimum when I'm listening to people like this talk.
Yes, the new Doom pivots from Eternal's platforming and instead literally...
I feel like I have to do a full Lego movie review at this point. And yes, I will do it.
Grounds its combat in strafe-heavy gameplay with an emphasis on power. Sure, the great guns are still there. This is Doom, after all.
So them talking about it not being like flipping all over the place actually excites me because my reflexes aren't what they used to be. I don't play Quake 3 Arena like I did when I was 11. I can't just be flipping around. And I've seen footage of the other Doom games like Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, like really skilled people who are like, I can hardly follow the camera. They're flipping all over the place. They're flying back and forth across the map, shooting people. Like I could never keep up with that kind of gameplay. And that's what it was designed for. And this one, there's going to be a lot less of that. And like they just said, you're just going to strafe around stuff. That speaks to me and my slow reaction.
And that very much includes the new Skull Crusher that stood out in the reveal trailer. You know, the one that eats the skulls of your fallen enemies as ammunition and spits them back out at the still living bad guys in smaller, higher velocity chunks.
That's like the coolest thing I've ever seen. That's such a cool idea.
But the Dark Ages also places a huge premium on your 3 melee weapons. The default electrified gauntlet, which can be charged up, the flail, and the star of the reveal trailer from last summer, the shield saw, which can be thrown or used to block, parry, or deflect. Quote, "You're gonna stand and fight," game director Hugo Martin said after my demo of the new Doom. Perhaps it won't surprise you then that Martin...
So I think that's kind of a cool concept that most of them you just don't want to get hit. You're trying to move around. That's been sort of a defining feature of this genre for a long time, that you stay on the move all the time. If you stop moving, you're going to die. You're going to get ganged up on. And I think this is a cool idea that they thought, okay, what can we do different? Well, let's bring in some ideas from other genres like action games where you have to rely on blocking or parrying or whatever. I think this is a really neat addition.
Says the Dark Ages is inspired primarily by 3 other seminal pieces of pop culture. The legendary original Doom, Frank Miller's Batman The Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, and Zack Snyder's 2006 classic movie 300, perhaps not coincidentally based on a graphic novel by Frank Miller. As further evidence of this, the modern Doom series' trademark glory kill finishing move system has been unsynced, meaning the fatalities can be performed from any angle on the bat.
That like ball and chain thing that gets flipped out, I think that's a fun. I think the medieval theme was another great choice. Like, how do you, again, where do you go? The fact that they have this kind of creativity, the studio, it's impressive that they came up with new ideas, not just for the sake of new ideas, but they were new ideas that look good. Obviously, we'll have to see. I know somebody else was, Josh was a little hesitant on it. It's a lot of changes, so I get why people would be a little hesitant, but I think it's just impressive and noteworthy that they were able to come up with new ideas, not just for the fun of it, but they look like they're actually working.
Battlefield and will change accordingly. This is to account for the hordes of enemies that will be around you all the time. Yes, like 300 and the original Doom, you'll be surrounded by bad guys in combat bowls that have been significantly widened in the Dark Ages.
See, that was nice. You were able to just sort of avoid those big balls instead of having to pause. you're gonna instead of having to be on the move, flipping around like crazy.
You can accomplish objectives in any order you want and wander anywhere you feel like in the levels, which, by the way, Martin says have been shortened a bit where needed to stick closer to his sweet spot of each being about an hour long. Even
the art direction is really cool here too. And it sounds like they're still levels, but they are kind of slightly open, if I'm getting that right. That I don't want to say open world Doom, but maybe a bit more open level Doom, not quite so linear, which that's one thing that I'm a little worried about. I don't know if that's going to be good or not. I think that the straight path, just get from A to B with a few little secret tangents, I think that's a good formula. That's the one thing.
Better, addressing a criticism I cited in my review of Doom Eternal, the Dark Ages will no longer force you to read its story in the Codex. Instead, the story will play out in cutscenes. And the story will, quote, take you to the far reaches of the Doom universe, it says, with a big story described as, quote, a summer blockbuster event with everything on the line, as your power as the Slayer is coveted by your enemies.
That's going to be cool. There's a
Martin also made a point to emphasize that the development team is focusing on simplifying the control scheme, believing that in hindsight, Doom Eternal made the controls too complex. Martin said the team wanted something that felt intuitive so that when they pressure the player, they're not reaching for buttons they're not familiar with.
And see, that's something, again, Eternal, I like Doom Eternal. That was the last one. I thought it was a fun game, but I do think that I know it sounds whiny, like, oh, it's too complicated, but they really, they were relying on you to use these new tools. Like there was a flamethrower that would come out from your shoulder, and then you had like this chainsaw thing, and then you had to get enemies not quite dead so that you could do this finishing move, and you had to do those things because that's how you would get armor or health or ammo or whatever. So you, like, if when you got into the flow of it, it started to feel okay, but it was complicated, and I can see why they were getting complaints about that, because it was a lot of moving pieces, and you were having to move very quickly, and there were times that it got a little overwhelming.
The aforementioned melee options, for example, will be equipped like equipment, meaning one at a time. Meanwhile, not only will there be more secrets and treasures hidden around, but the economy has been simplified to one currency, gold, and those secrets will focus on furthering your skill progression, meaning tangible, gameplay-altering rewards rather.
See, I like that. The little squishy dolls, like, that doesn't appeal to me.
Rather than lore deep dives. One thing you definitely can deep dive into, though, is the difficulty. Custom sliders now let you tweak the challenge however you see fit, with adjustments for things like game speed and enemy aggression and a whole lot more at your fingertips right in the UI.
I've said in the past, I like that a lot. I like that if there's just one thing, like somebody mentioned that, like Joshua said, like he's like in the branching out, but this feels like it might be slowed down. If that is the thing that you're feeling like, man, this game, it just feels so slow, that menu seems like it's really cool that you can just turn the speed up. If that's the only thing that you're feeling like is missing, then you can crank that up and that's it, and you're good to go.
I also learned a bit more about two standout gameplay sequences from the reveal trailer. The giant 30-story demon mech called the Atlan, and the cybernetic dragonback riot. They won't be one-offs by the sound of it, but you can't just call in either one anytime you like. Each has a full suite of abilities and even mini-bosses to battle. Oh, and
I bet you the first time you summon that thing, that is going to be the coolest moment. It's going to be such a cool set piece that you called on a giant robot with a huge minigun. Like, that's going to feel so cool if they do it right. And they have a history of doing that kind of thing, right? Where they give you these hell yeah moments. And I think that's going to be one of them. It's going to be
one more key bit of information. There won't be any multiplayer mode this time around, as the team wanted to focus all of its resources into making the best single-player campaign possible. Not that Eternal's battle mode was bad, but I imagine most players won't complain. But for me, someone for whom the original Doom was transformational in 1993, I just keep coming back to Martin's pivot away from the very...
Yeah, see that, like where he just was able to parry that a little bit. I get that. I can see it. I do see that it looks a little slow. Like that looked very easy to do. So maybe they'll tighten that speed up a little bit, because it does look like it could be a little bit too slow, which might make it a little too easy. But I like the focus on paying attention to what's in front of you instead of just zipping around.
Successful direction they were heading in Eternal, and his renewed adherence to the design principles of that 30-year-old foundational classic as he designed the Dark Ages. Quote, "It's just got to be different from Eternal," Martin said, "especially if I love the game. If I want to play a Doom game, I want to feel strong, but I'm okay with changing what that power fantasy is especially if that change brings it closer to classic Doom. Hearing that has got me more hyped than ever.
Yeah, the director's comments sound really great. I'm usually not a big fan of IGN stuff, but they're saying all the right things to get me excited about this one. It feels like it's changing enough to make it not just a reskin, but they're not just random changes. And I think I'm going to like a lot of them. I thought about streaming games one time, but as I have experienced, because I've tried to talk to my wife while I'm playing a game, and it doesn't matter what the game is. I don't think I could do it. I can't talk like a normal, intelligent human being and play a game at the same time. I'm either going to fail the game horribly or I'm going to blank out mid-sentence. And like I said, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not, I can't talk to her while I'm clearly like playing an action game, like a Souls game or any kind of action game or whatever. But the other day I was playing Astrobot and I couldn't form a sentence. And that's a very kiddie game. Yeah, that's why I pause them. I just pause them. I can't. No, I have a lot of respect for streamers, because how you can play a game and be okay at the game and talk and continue to have things to say, I don't know how they do it. I can't do it. But I might try. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe when one of these things we're going to look at is the new Hazelight game. And maybe I won't show my kids online, but maybe I'll stream with one of my kids while we're trying to play Split Fiction. That's the new one. Maybe me and the boy will play it.
The man-child?
Yeah. He just turned 13 and he's over 6 feet tall. He's enormous. Yeah. That's, I mean, I either have to pause or I just have to say, like, hold on a second, because I can't think about two things at once, but I might try it. I've thought about trying to stream games because it sounds like a lot of fun. That looks so incredible. I don't know. What other games are you guys excited about? Those of you that are popping in, what other games are you guys excited about? What other shows and movies are you guys excited about? Drop them in the comments, because I obviously have a big string of things here, but I want to look up the rest of this stuff. So I asked my daughter to do some of the research for me, and I was like, hey, just find a list of what's coming out. And she found some stuff that wasn't even on my radar at all. And some of this looks very interesting. Now, some of them don't have trailers, and she thought one of them did because she did not realize the horrific epidemic of fake freaking trailers on YouTube that I think should be like illegal. I think YouTube should correct. I don't know. Something needs to be done about that, because it makes me, like, screen culture is a cancer. I hate that channel. I hate them. I hate people that make, and they like put official whatever, like, with YouTube cracking down. I can tell you guys behind the scenes, when I upload a video, there's a little button that I got to tick now that's like, this contains AI generated whatever, or this contains what appears to be a real person saying things they didn't really say, whatever. Like, I have to disclose that. That's part of the video upload process. And they apparently don't have to disclose that the title says official trailer, and that's a fucking lie. Like, anyway, sorry. I got off on that tangent because Netflix has a Frankenstein movie coming this year that I want to show you a trailer, but it doesn't exist. And it is, hang on, I got who was the, I'm glad you're in here, because who was in the Netflix Frankenstein?
You're talking to me?
Yeah. So Oscar Isaac he is not Frankenstein's sponsor. He is Dr. Frankenstein's son or grandson. This is going to be like a sequel type thing where I read the synopsis. A guy knows about Dr. Frankenstein's work, tracks down, I believe, Frankenstein's son or grandson, who's Oscar Isaac, and tries to convince him to restart the work or whatever. And it's Guillermo del Toro is doing this one, and it some new images just popped up. So we've got Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein's line right here, and this is going to be on Netflix. Like I said, there's no trailer yet, but I'm excited. I want to see what he does with it. It sounds like an interesting new idea. I want to see where they go with that one. So yeah, no trailer on that one yet. Typhon, $5. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, I can't. It's not even like gamer cred. Like, it's just our brains don't do that stuff anymore. Like, whenever I see it, it hurts my back whenever I see jokes online about, like, this isn't the same brain that I used to read an entire book in a day with. What is this? Anyway. So yeah, Frankenstein is one that I was hoping to have a trailer for. I want to see what they're going to do with it, but we'll see. KCD2. Why can't I think of what that means? KCD. You ever see an acronym and when it's explained, you feel like an idiot? That's what's about to happen to me right now. I'm sure of it. So I just bought some smaller games, and I had somebody email me some suggestions, and I'm going to work on a video at some point, whenever I finish them up, of like these shorter games. Because the older I get, I was watching Shredded Nerd, a video from Shredded Nerd today about millennial reviews and how millennial reviews of the past are kind of partly responsible for why we have the gaming industry that we have right now, because we sent them some signals that turned out to maybe not be correct as we got older. Like, a game doesn't have value if it's less than 60 hours. That was a complaint that I used to make when I was younger. Like, no, I'm not going to pay for a game that is 20 hours. Now I'm starving for them. I'm playing 9 Souls right now. It's short. The Xbox Game Pass says it's going to take me about 20, 25 hours to finish. That's fantastic. Honestly, that's a little bit on the long side as far as I'm concerned. Somebody emailed me and suggested that I play, there's a Prince of Persia game, and I can't remember the name of it, something Prince of Persia. But anyway, it's a shorter game. And this is the reason that we're all behind on games, because they're gigantic now. And I like Tunic is a game that I think is fantastic. It was very short. I'm going to start praising those, because when you have a good idea, you explore that good idea, and you don't try to bloat it out to 50 hours or whatever. So that's something that I'm excited about now. Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's right. I haven't been following that one very closely. One that I am excited about is No Rest for the Wicked, because that Moon Studio is excellent, and the Ori games, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Ori and what was the sequel called? Anyway, they're excellent. So I'm excited to see what they do with the ARPG kind of Diablo-like type thing with No Rest for the Wicked. But I see a lot of headlines about Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I haven't looked into it yet. Let's see here. We got, I don't know what green and gold is. Reacher season 3 is coming out too. I forgot about that. That's in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
That's what I need. It's more Alan Richson.
You know what?
He's not even as tall as you are.
I mean, statistically speaking, he's bigger than me.
But
I'll tell you that.
Not even as tall as you are.
You know what is really sad is we do a financial summit getaway. Like, we plan our yearly budget out now, and we just go to a hotel and we take whiteboards and we actually like write all the stuff down, like full yearly plan type stuff. Reacher season 3 was supposed to come out the weekend we were going to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Which
so perfect.
Yeah, I know. I was excited about it, and now it's not happening. Ghost of Yotei or whatever. I want to be excited for that. I know a lot of people are hating on it, and I understand why. Again, it's one of those things where people that are pessimistic about stuff, I can't tell you that you're wrong. With all the environment, with the crap that comes out all the time, how am I going to tell people not to be pessimistic? It's understandable. But I think that one's going to be good. And I understand that it shows a lot of signs of not being great. It was a formerly male-led game with Ghost of Tsushima, and then now look, we have a female protagonist, and a lot of times that ends badly. I think that one's pretty good. Or it looks pretty good anyway. I don't know how this third season is going to go. The second season, I will admit, was a little bit of a drop in quality from the first season. I think that it was one of those things where they thought, it was like Exhibit, like, we heard you like all him killing people, and we heard you like him, and we're going to just pack the show full of that. And it almost got a little comical at points. So we'll see. All right. So this one, The Electric State, again, Netflix movie. Netflix is so hit or miss, because for every time they try to come out with like a really serious movie, like that Frankenstein movie or this Electric State movie, which I think looks pretty good. It's got Chris Pratt, as you're going to see. they're trying to come up with some like real Hollywood blockbusters, and then they'll come out with the 468 or the 3. What was that mail carrier World War II mail carrier movie? I was going to say 369, but that's different. The AMC5. Sorry. That's another old thing. Anyway.
The bot rebellion
That's
was ugly.
They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't blink. I blink.
When the robots deviated from their assigned task, we banished them to the electric state. 200,000 square miles of secure territory.
You famous.
They want to hear you. So, yeah, they do. You're interested.
I never trusted them.
So it's got Stanley Tucci and Chris Pratt. I'm already sold.
They're not us. How would they possibly understand our best interests?
My brother. I thought.
So there's a chance that this gets real tropey. And that's the one thing that's holding me back from being super excited about this one is there's a chance that it's humans are the real monsters and robots they understand us better than we understand ourselves. Like we could fall into some really deep tropes, really poorly executed right here, but
I lost him.
Holding out hope.
But he's out there somewhere.
I stopped fighting because the war with his boss was wrong.
You want to go get your brother back? I'll go with you.
See, that's the thing. The whole, like, they're real people, and I think the robots are actually dead people. I think that's what they are. That's why the robot, like, recognizes her brother. I think that's going to be the big reveal. I don't know. It looks like it could be a lot of fun, and there could be some funny moments and good action, but like I said, it could also be really... I don't know. I'm going to come up with a different word from tropey, but And I don't know if you guys saw that, like the Russo brothers are doing this one. So you got Stephen McFeely writing for this. You got the Russo brothers. Like Netflix, they're not messing around. But then they'll make goofy stuff like 6 Under. Did you guys ever watch 6 Under with Ryan Reynolds or Red Notice, the Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, Ryan Reynolds movie? Like they'll make some of the sloppiest trash, just background second screen type stuff. But then they'll also get these big name people and they'll try to do these Hollywood blockbuster deals that are on Netflix. It's interesting. It's interesting to see where they're going. Somebody had said something. So she moved. My wife was across the room and then she came and sat closer. Soon, one day, I'm going to just get her to come and just be my co-host. That's what's going to happen. What you guys don't realize is that when you watch the Greg Owen videos, you're actually getting more than just the one person. It's like a 3-person team now. She helps me write a lot of it. She has great jokes. And she doesn't think that she's funny or interesting. I don't know. She's got anxiety about it, but she's really funny and interesting. So a lot of the jokes are hers. And then somebody actually called me out today's video. They were like, that's the second time that you've done a Once Upon a Time clip. Like, are you watching that show? My second oldest daughter is doing a lot of my editing now, and she watches that show. So a lot of the references now, like I'm getting varied references and like cutaway clips in the videos because she will suggest stuff from Disney shows that she's watched or Once Upon a Time they're watching or whatever. So yeah, my sphere of references is expanding, and you guys you don't know it, but you get jokes from all over the place. One of these days, she's going to get a mic. Somebody mentioned Terminal List. I want to see that when the second season does come out. I did not realize that Terminal List was like a whole series of books. And if you guys haven't seen it on Amazon, it's really good. That's with Chris Pratt. Vigilante story. It's going to make you feel great. You're like, yeah, he kills a bunch of people, and you're going to feel amazing about it the entire time. The way the show ends, he has terminal brain cancer. That's why it's the terminal list. But apparently there were a lot of books. So they're going to make more. I don't know how they're going to resolve that. I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where they're just going to like never mention it and just kind of, JK, we wanted to make more seasons. I don't know. I don't know how it works in the books, but I'm excited for that one. It's very Reacher. Like if you enjoy those type of shows where dude is kicking ass and getting revenge on the bad guys with his super military skills, you should watch Terminal List. It's very, very good. We have funny matching pajamas. We are a matching pajamas family where we all buy one type and we take a picture. That's us. That's the kind of white family that we are. So just so you guys know. So yeah, the Somewhere Over the Rainbow, that's I don't know. I don't know why that was in there. Like I said, I think that it could be super campy. Did you finish Once Upon a Time?
I didn't. The girls are.
They haven't finished it yet, right?
No.
No. They haven't finished it yet. But my wife never finished it. It was one of those things where we watched that first season, and I didn't realize they made more seasons. And someone, I can't remember, was it you that watched the second season? Somebody told me about the show has like 5 or 6 seasons, and it apparently just goes off the rails. It gets crazy. Characters from all over the place. It's like a multiverse thing, different time periods. It doesn't make any sense. The storylines go everywhere. Apparently, it's very weird, but it's kind of a cult classic. So yeah, they're doing, like I said, Netflix is doing big. They're doing big things. They got the Russo brothers coming in. They're trying to make like these big Hollywood blockbusters. So this was another one. Like I said, I asked my daughter to do some research, and she found this one. And it's an A24 movie. I know that I'm blocked. Oh no, it's there. So it's an A24 movie. It could be weird. I also think that, I don't know, it's called Death of a Unicorn. And you got to see it because it's...
Ridley? Are you okay?
It's very... I'll see you later, Joshua. This one's very, very strange, but it could be good.
It kind of felt like it was showing me something. I get this feeling I don't think we're supposed to be here.
The Leopolds donated this entire nature preserve.
Like there's some people that are always going to watch stuff with Jenna Ortega in it, so that's going to get fans right there. And now I'm blanking on his name. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch Paul Rudd all the time.
And they care about a lot of things, not just pharmaceuticals.
Fine. I will sit there and smile.
Sorry,
What happened? You walked from the airport or what?
It's perfect timing.
I need you to act like everything is fine.
Is there something in your car?
So it's the only thing that I'm nervous about is that it's at this big mansion and you've got Adam Warlock dressed like an idiot. They're obviously very rich. The only thing that I'm worried about with this movie is that it's going to continue this Hollywood trend of doing this like eat the rich movies where they're like Triangle of Sadness and The Menu and Saltburn, and where they want to pretend like, hey, we hate those rich people too, but they're rich as hell and the movies are stupid and soulless because of it. That's the only thing that worries me about this one, like Glass Onion or those movies are kind of similar in that way. I'm worried that they'll make him just an absolute moron, and it will, by the halfway through the movie, it's going to be annoying because he's such an idiot, and it's going to be like, look, dumb rich kid.
Species in this area are rare. What exactly are we saying this is, though?
I think we know exactly what it is.
A horse-like mammalia.
With some sort of protrusion or growth.
It's a fucking unicorn.
I don't think I should be in swim shorts for this moment.
I don't think that we're supposed to have this.
So it starts getting weird, and this is where I think it could be like one of these horror comedy things. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. Like this trailer is succeeding in making me super interested. I can't say excited, very interested in this movie.
We need to study it.
Whatever it is, it seems to be the cure for cancer.
Cancer? That's the biggest one.
An opportunity for greatness, for immortality.
I've never been so alive.
Dad, please just listen to me. We need to give the little one back. Okay, bad things will happen.
There are two of them? I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, like the goofy music and stuff, it's making me think it's gonna be a comedy. Like it's not gonna be full horror. And the fact that it turns this weirdly dark gives me some optimism that it won't just be, look, greedy people who want to make money on a beautiful thing of nature. Like I think that it might be more than that shallow message. And yeah, somebody said Jenna Ortega has a track record of picking good projects. She usually doesn't pick stuff that's super cringy. And yeah, I don't know. This I'm interested.
I'll do whatever I have to take care of you. You'd retreat in the face of opportunity.
That horn was rather girthsome.
Yeah, poke around and find out. Like,
I'm picking up vibration. Here's hoping we kill Bigfoot on the way home, huh?
like I said, that one, I gotta see it. I have that is the most successful trailer that I've seen in a long time because first of all, it didn't tell me everything about the movie. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a big thing that keeps happening, like where they give the entire movie away. But at the same time, it makes me so intrigued to find out what is happening there. So I don't know. I gotta know. I have to know. Yeah, I get it. I get it. My daughter is too. That's one of the things I don't think I can find a trailer. She watched Wednesday, and I thought Wednesday was going to be super dumb. It looked like it looked like they were just capitalizing on, look, goth girl, and you're going to watch this and whatever. My 16-year-old watched it, and she said it was a really fun show, and it wasn't super stupid. It was very entertaining. It kind of gripped her, and the second season is coming out this year, so she's excited about that one. So Ortega she's on fire right now, and she's taking advantage of it for sure. And yeah, and Ejecta's got a good point, because like A24 is a very art house kind of studio, so they'll greenlight some really weird stuff, but some of it is really amazing. I'm watching some of the Oscars movies. Last year, I watched The Zone of Interest, which I thought was going to be super artsy, whatever, and that's about the Nazi camp thing. That was, it like sat with me. That was a really great movie. So yeah, they're all over the place, but they take risks, which not everyone pans out, but I like that. I like that they're not safe about everything, and that's why you do get weird stuff like this that it's if nothing else, it's interesting. And I keep using that word too. I gotta bust the source out, but it's just something that is not the same garbage that you've been watching all the time. And even if there are parts of it that are kind of cringy or not great, that movie looks like it's going to be fun to talk about, fun to watch, maybe rewatch. I don't know. I'm pretty pumped about that one. Yeah, the good vibrations, the vibe of that trailer, it got me excited. That's for sure. Yeah. I have so many tabs. This one, it's niche, but I'm super pumped about this. Another Souls game. I just like them all. They're so much fun. And this one reminds me very much of, I can't think of the name of it anymore. Code Vein. That's the one. There was this other, it was basically a Dark Souls game, but with anime characters, and all of the things that you associate with anime, that was also in there as well. But it was a blast. It was a super fun game. It was about anime vampires, basically, in a post-apocalyptic world, and it was a lot of fun. And this one looks to be a lot of fun as well. Oh, before I get started, M8566, $20. Thank you very much. Waiting for the and the review of the Lego Movie. Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna have to pour myself a big bowl of humble stew, and I'm gonna have to do a Lego Movie review. Oh, I got the L out of the way quick this year. All right, so check this out. This looks like a lot of fun. It looks brutal. The atmosphere is moody. The art direction looks really good on this one. It has the cel-shaded, almost anime look, but not quite, like not leaning too heavily into it. Cool. That's going to be like your bonfire style thing, and you are like you wield two gigantic weapons at the same time. You're this barbarian berserker thing. Like it's just a cool power fantasy. And I like that a lot of these games are. There were a lot of complaints about early Dark Souls games that you would just get a big shield and you would hide behind it. And a lot of these new ones are saying, nope, we want the faster pace. You can see that this person, you're having to parry a lot. You can't get away from the enemies. They're going to be up in your face. And after Nine Souls, after Sekiro, after Bloodborne, I mean, it adds difficulty, but I got to say, I love it. I like this style a lot more than the older, slower Dark Souls style. I went back and played Dark Souls 2 recently, and it felt so slow. It was crazy. I don't know if those games can get any faster now, but the old ones feel like watching molasses run downhill in December now compared to like Bloodborne or Sekiro or whatever, or this, it looks like. And it's super duper bloody. So this doesn't have, I mean, obviously this is like their gameplay reveal. And I did watch, because there's a trailer right now. So if you are interested in this one, you can get a trailer because it's coming out, I think, in a month and a half. But on Steam, and I believe on PlayStation as well, I don't know about Xbox, they do have a trailer for this, and you can find footage. So this is going to be kind of a Soulsy type thing where you're going to have a bar at the bottom that you have a stamina meter as well as your health. And then you've got a small icon up here. It's very minimalist as far as the UI is concerned, which I like. There was a time for a few years where we were getting into really super crowded UIs, and I like the fact that people are finding ways to get less shit on the screen. So it's not overcrowded, but this doesn't show it, but you do have a stamina type thing. And it looks like the stamina also functions as maybe like a posture type thing, because the enemy has one as well. And that was something that I like, because sometimes in these games you feel like, wait, I'm limited on the amount of things that I'm allowed to do, but the enemies don't seem to be. And in this one, if you go watch some of the demo footage, the enemies have a little white bar as well that shows you when they're tired out, which I appreciate. What's crazy to me is how how anime it is, where it almost looks like a girl. Like it's supposed to be this jacked barbarian dude, but then in some shots you're like, that's with the ponytail. You get your passport out. And these like yeah, that one's looking great. I thought there was it's like I said, it's like a month away. That one's looking spectacular. Uh-oh. Ah. Did we blank out for a second?
Didn't on mine.
I got a new mesh system for when Black Friday was going on. I got one of those like 3-unit mesh Wi-Fi deals, and it's a TP deco system, and I like it overall, except every now and then this main one drops. And I think that maybe I have an old cable. I'm gonna chop the tip off, and didn't sound good. I'm gonna redo the RJ45 connector on that and downstairs and see if that fixes it. But every now and then it drops, which sucks when I'm playing when I was playing Diablo, because it would kick you instantly. But it sounds like I'm back, so that's good. Anyway, Khazan First Berserker, that one's coming out in a month, I believe, and there's a demo for that one, so you guys should check that one out if you like Souls games. Right, there we go. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it just dropped me for just a second. I got to figure that out. I think it is a loose connection. Anyway, all right. So this is the one everybody wanted to see, and I was afraid when everybody said it froze up. I was afraid I got like some kind of copyright issue, and if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here. Somebody in a video today asked me why I don't do a lot of DC stuff. I'm mostly like a lot of reviews are Marvel, Disney, whatever. Partly it's because I don't know, for some reason the DC stuff just hasn't grabbed me, good or bad. It's been not like in the last couple of years when I've been making videos. Blue Beetle, I mean, okay. Aquaman, yeah. Flash, I did do a video on Flash, but just a lot of their stuff recently isn't great. But I do want to start I want to watch Creature Commandos. I want to talk about that one. Now that they've got all the old crap that they gave up on out of the way, the new stuff, I am interested. But fun behind the scenes info, part of the problem with doing anything that's associated with Warner Brothers is that their copyright settings are through the roof. And if you use more than about 4.5 seconds of footage, the videos won't go up. They have automatic copyright claims. It's a real pain. And it's like, if I'm talking about something, I want to show you. If I'm making a video, obviously you don't just want to stare at me the entire time, and I want to show you like what it is that I'm trying to describe. And if I only have 4 seconds at a time, it can make for a real pain. That's why if you guys watch the Angry Joe show, they have like the whole the fair use thing that runs across anything with WB. It's awful. And it's not just that you're being mean, because I ran into this problem years ago when Last of Us season 1 came out, and I was praising that show, and I still had issues, and I had to chop all my footage down and everything. Anything HBO, anything WB, all the DC stuff. I don't know what their deal is, but they make it really hard to make videos about them, even if you're trying to be generous to them. It sucks. Anyway, so I haven't even watched this one yet, so this one will be a live reaction. Keep seeing headlines about the guy flying, and I guess his eyes look. I don't know. Seems like a weird thing to be upset about. See, I don't know why people are upset about that. I saw a lot of negative reactions to this, and I don't remember what I was doing. When did this come out? A month ago. I don't remember what I was doing. I was busy. I never did watch it. What's wrong with that? Okay, obviously he's been hurt by something. Like what? So it looks like an origin story. So I got to pause it every now and just, they don't get pissy about it. I guess like my only complaint so far is that there's really nothing in here, but you know, it's fine. It's just a teaser thing. When is this coming out? And I don't know, this year, so I would think they would have more to show. Anyway.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
I'm nervous about the dog thing. Not because the dog looks weird or anything. Just sometimes it takes a lot of skill to pull off, especially a live dog like that. Like, usually it works better for comedy. Like, if you guys haven't seen Peacemaker on HBO Max with John Cena, and he has a pet eagle named Eagly, and like they made a whole joke out of that, and it was hilarious. I don't know. The dog might just, I don't know. It just might be weird to just have this dog and he's trying to talk to the dog and the dog's going to bark back. And I mean, it worked with R2-D2, so like you can make it work, but I don't know. That just it almost looked comical. Like it looked like they were telling a joke, like, ha ha ha, Superman and his dog. Like, I don't know. At least it's different though. That's my thing with DC is I feel like it's always Superman and Batman. And not that I hate these characters. I feel like something that a lot of people forget, and I even forget when the whole Marvel MCU thing got kicked off, is that Iron Man was not like a top tier character. A lot of these characters were not top tier characters. And then so in addition to being this whole interconnected universe and these big stars, and like they did a lot of cool things, but one of the cool things they did was they brought to the forefront not Wolverine again. Not, that's why they haven't done the X-Men, I think, partly because they had this kind of let's bring in some other people. Let's bring in some novelty. And I think that's something that's hurting DC is they keep going, all right, Batman again. Okay, Superman again. And I can see why the dog, they're trying to do something different. So I want to give them points for trying to give some novelty. It just as soon as the dog came, I was like, what are we doing? Why is there a poodle? It's not a poodle, but anyway. I think he could do a good Lex Luthor too. Why does Green Lantern look like he got a COVID haircut? I'm sorry. When I was a kid, my mom did this. She would actually put a bowl on our... Dude, I got a bowl cut when I was a kid. For real, with a bowl. Why? He looks like what's his face from Fantastic Beasts, like that. I mean, overall, it doesn't look bad to me. It looks like something I'm interested in at the very least. Like I'm interested in it for sure. I don't know a lot about. I'm not a big comic person. Like I've said that a lot, so I don't know a ton about what storylines, like what Easter eggs were in there that could suggest what they're going to do, or from what runs. Like I know that people just spot that stuff instantly, but there were a lot of things in there that looked interesting. So I'm willing to give it a chance for sure. I saw a lot of hate on that one. Is it the last like 2 seconds here where did I miss the flying with the goofy eyes? I must have been coughing when that happened. I'm sorry. Green Lantern's haircut is that's rough. Oh yeah, the soundtrack is goofy. But yeah, that looks all right. It looks all right. I'm okay with them doing, and I understand they have to do brand new origin stories because the Gunverse is, they're totally rebooting the whole thing, and I'm interested to see what tone they want to take, because with the previous DC, a big issue for them is that they didn't they didn't seem to have. I mean, you guys know they were switching directors all the time. They were switching heads all the time. Marvel was killing it, and so clearly you could tell when they thought, oh, action comedies are the way to go, and then they tried to do that, but they had already established a lot of more gritty style characters, and just so I get it. They got to do it all over again. I don't even know who that guy is. I don't recognize him from anywhere, but he looks like Superman. He's got a very Clark Kent kind of look. So I'm into it. Comes out in July, I saw. So I'm good with that. Interested to see. I'm interested to see who the guy with the black masks is, and I'm interested to see if Green Lantern. He looked angry there. He looked like he was a bad guy. And again, I'm not a huge. I'm not big on comic stuff or DC, so I don't really know. But as long as they just stick to their plan and they don't abandon Gunn, like if these don't do incredible right away, my fear is that Zaslav just decides, oh well, it didn't work. Cut. We try again, and then they reboot again with another person again, and it just never works because after a while the audience starts to catch on. Like, well, I'm not going to get invested because you guys are just going to can this again. So hopefully they just let Gunn cook, whether people like Gunn or not, or whether these are incredible or not right away. I think they need to let that momentum build. I mean, if you look at the numbers when the MCU started out, they had to build momentum too. They weren't billion-dollar movies instantly. That's my biggest fear, is that David Zaslav is going to be like, oh, Superman didn't make $2 billion and pull the plug on all of it. Oh my God, James Gunn's fired. So hopefully they'll let this go. And I would like to see them do like a Justice League, like a full deal. I was the scrapped Cyborg movie. That sucks. I would like to see a Martian Manhunter. Like, I'm not opposed. I gotta say this because I'm going to regret saying it, but I'm not opposed to the interconnected cinematic universes. I think they're way overdone right now. I think everybody wants to have a cinematic universe, even when they shouldn't. There should not be a Mando verse. There should never have been a Sony Spider-Man verse without Spider-Man. But the DC stuff, like the Justice League, that lends itself to that style of putting together movies and then culminating in like an Avengers style deal. As long as they commit to it, and as long as they have an exit strategy, unlike Marvel after Endgame, they were just like, well, we just want to keep making money. And the audience was like, well, we don't want to keep giving it to you if you don't have any ideas. And they clearly did not. But that's the first time I've seen that one. So I don't know. It looks good. It looks good. It didn't look bad. I guess they didn't really show a lot, but it didn't look bad. Now, you want to talk about a movie that looks terrible.
Minecraft trailer, take 2.
This is so atrocious. And like Jack Black he does not give a damn.
I am Steve.
Samwise is here. I had Despot. Now I got Samwise in here.
As a child, I yearned for the mines, but something always got in the way.
Go on! Get out of here!
I mean, they're leaning into the meme stuff, right? With the kids yearn for the mine. Like, they are leaning into it, but a lot of this feels very, how do you do, fellow kids? It feels like Borderlands 3, like we were talking about earlier. Like, it feels very...
But the call of the mines was too strong. So one day, I started digging and digging until I found this.
Like, I don't know if it's me being pessimistic, but he just looks like he's not even into it. Even his facial acting doesn't look like, if you go watch the first Jumanji movie or you go watch like old Tenacious D stuff, like, I don't know, he looks like he's not even into this.
Wonderland where anything you can imagine is possible. As long as what you imagine can be built out of blocks. Got a boy?
Where are we?
The fact that this wig, all of this, it's so weird looking. I don't really understand why they did this instead of I don't know if you guys want to go look them up. There are people instantly redid these trailers not in Minecraft, but with that half animated. Is it Machinima? What's the name of it? kind of like a machinima thing. Yeah, that's what it was. And no, that's the name of a group. Anyway, people did animated trailers instantly, and they looked so much better than this. Why they decided to do like this full live action thing, I don't understand. People on YouTube are making so much money making animated Minecraft. My kids watch them all the time. Why they chose this, I don't. It just.
Wait, who are you again?
Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison. Gamer of the Year 1989. Whatever. I barely think about it.
Welcome to the overworld.
It's like they watched that movie where he was the Sandman or whatever, the Dream Thief or something, and they were like, that's a great idea. We should do that style. And it wasn't in that movie that I can't even remember the name of, and it's not in this. It just...
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Now let's have some fun. This place makes no sense.
Don't I know it? There are dark forces who want to destroy this.
What's really crazy is that even kids don't like this. Like, I understand that I'm almost 40, so I'm like, this Minecraft movie looks stupid, and I get how that sounds. But when this came out, that day that it came out, I gathered my sons up, and I was like, guys, check this out. And they watched it, and they were like, yeah, that doesn't look good. Because, again, like I said, they watch the animated stories. They watch people that do this on YouTube for a living, making goofy animated Minecraft stories, and they were like, why? This doesn't look good. They were not excited at all. And then I was streaming one time with 30 NSG, and he said he showed his son, and same thing. It was like a blind whatever, and he stood behind him, so he didn't want to like influence his kid's reaction or whatever. He said his son watched it, and he goes, I swear to you, the trailer ended, and he turned around and he just said, why did they do that? Like, even kids don't want to watch this. I don't see this going
on. If we want to stop them, we're going to need to create something amazing. Let's go to the stash.
This is our decision. Nothing we can do. We've got the vision. Now let's have some fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's this junk?
An ender pearl. Teleports you to wherever you throw it.
Yeah, right.
And that was the only one I had. No.
He's like, I don't know. He doesn't seem like he even cares.
Biggie? Oh, yeah. There's one more thing you need to know.
Great. Now it's dark. Does that feel quick to anyone else?
Yeah, this is exactly it right here. Look, like I said, Sonic 3 really did something to me because I loved it, and I was like, this isn't a great movie, but I love it. Why do I love it so much? And then I had to take a step back. Like, I don't know. Why am I being so critical of something that I'm enjoying? Like, why would I do that? And so, look, stupid stuff is fun. Can be. This just looks, yeah, Duke's up. This is bad. It looks, the acting sounds bad. Nobody sounds like they care. I'm sure the story is going to be dumb because it's a Minecraft movie. Like, the story was never going to make sense, but it just, this is what it feels like when a studio just goes, they'll lap it up. Who gives a shit? Why do we don't have to try. Who cares? And they just phone everything in. And then this is what you get. You still have to put effort in, even when something is kind of a slam dunk, like a Minecraft movie. It's, ugh. I don't know if I'm going to take my kids. I don't think my kids, they haven't asked about it. My kids have not asked about it yet. When they saw the first Dogman trailer in like October, when they started showing those trailers, my 11-year-old has asked me about it constantly. My 9-year-old has asked me about it constantly. Nobody has asked about the Minecraft movie. They've not asked like, oh, when's it coming out? When do we see? Nothing. It's never come up. They don't care. Even the kids don't want to see it. I don't know. It's crazy. And then this was one, I didn't watch a lot of Nickelodeon stuff, so I didn't know this was even coming out. And this is another one that I think is, somebody mentioned that the Minecraft movie was just, a couple years too late. And this is another one that I didn't even know what Henry Danger was. I guess it was a Nickelodeon show. So this is happening. And I looked it up. The show went off the air like 6 years ago.
Is that?
I think it is.
I thought it was Meteor Man for a second. It's a deep cut.
This is Henry Hart. In Swellview, you knew him as Kid Danger, fighting crime with Captain Man, Schwaz, and of course, his best friends.
Let's go!
But you already know this. Fast forward to here. A lot has changed since he was a sidekick. But now, Henry has to face his destiny.
Am I dead? Am I in heaven?
I feel like that's the same room that Ms. Marvel lived in, right? Did they just, like, once the Marvels got done shooting, did they just go right into the same set?
Oh my god, I'm in hell. Who are you?
I'm Missy Martin, Kid Danger Superfan.
How did I get here?
The reality-altering device.
Am I the only person that has never heard of Henry Danger? Like I said, my daughter found this. I don't know what this
I
is.
brought you here so we could fight crime together. But now we're trapped in my stories.
And these stories are about to alter his reality forever.
I want to go home. Is that my sister? Piper, why are you dressed like that? Where are we?
In this story, you're the sidekick, and your best friend is the hero.
You made me sidekick to Jasper.
If you want to get this party started, you simply mustache.
I mean, look, they're leaning into the campiness of it, which I guess that's fine. I don't know. This is for the crowd that liked this show and they made a movie of it. I don't know. This feels like a really weird move, though. Hopefully it didn't cost a lot. It didn't look like it cost a lot. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody has ever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's heard of this one or not, but this was one that popped up on the research. Thank you, sir, for another $5. They keep taking IPs, trying to do this comedy of look how weird this is. Isn't funny. Yeah, I don't like a couple of references to, yeah, isn't that weird? You know, it's a video game logic. Okay, like that's a funny joke once or twice. We all know, like, yes, it's very strange that you just stick things together and then boom, whatever, a sword comes out. But yeah, absolutely. I think that entire movie is just going to be, this is weird. And Jack Black going, I know, nothing makes sense here. And it's that forever and ever. And then, what's his name's weird wig and pink jacket. It's just going to, yeah. I want to see a Darkwing Duck. I would see that. I would see a Darkwing Duck movie. I'll tell you what, a thing that I don't know if it would be any good, but if they tried to redo it, I would at least give it a few episodes. Pirates of Darkwater. If somebody brought that back, I would watch Pirates of Darkwater. I don't know about you guys, but that's one that I feel like didn't get a fair shake, and I would watch it. They're oh yeah, I don't know that Ben 10. Was there a live action of Ben 10? I don't know if that was ever live. I thought that was always a cartoon. But that could be good. That was, my kids used to watch that. And Ben 10 was not bad. I don't know. Henry Danger's coming out. If you have Paramount, have fun. If you didn't cancel it after what they did to Master Chief, hey, do your thing. Now this right here, this I'm pumped about. I'm back in the PlayStation 1 era. Let's take a little history lesson. There was a game called Legend of the Dragoon, and it was a fun RPG. It, like all PS1 games, I would show you, but you're like, wow, that's what you love. I know they all looked not great, but it had this fun mechanic where you would learn these combo moves during combat, and you would have to, it was like one of the first QuickTime event type style things. I liked it. It added a fun, interactive part to regular old turn-based combat. So this game right here, this is your, turn-based kind of JRPG style thing that has the Legend of the Dragoon style QuickTime, and I'm seeing that come back up. Last year, 2 years ago, there was a game called Sea of Stars that came out, like an old school Chrono Trigger looking game. And it was the same type of deal where you had to hit a button mid-attack and you would do extra damage. So it was something that with like a turn-based game, sometimes they can get a little boring because you just feel like you're hitting the same button over and over again. Okay, I plug my attack in, I see it happen. And sometimes they can feel a little dry. And so I like this idea of bringing those back because I like that style of game. It's nostalgia, and I like the tactical side of it. But I like this new trend of let's try to bring a little activity. So with this one, this is not
Elodie's
Robert
expedition.
Pattinson.
You know the commanders of every expedition.
Whether you want to believe me or not, that's not Robert Pattinson. And this game looks beautiful. And the premise of this is that there is some evil sorceress called the Paintress, and there's a giant rock somewhere, and every year she paints a new number, and everybody that age dies. And everybody that age that's going to die goes on an expedition to try to defeat her. And so this game is going to take place in the Paintress's world, which is such a great concept for their art team, because they, as you're going to see, they made a gorgeous looking world. Hang on, you got to watch that. He's in like this underworld, like there's bubbles, but he's not in the water. I don't know. The art direction looks cool. They really should not show this mustache. Like, that looks bad, though. Technically, that does not look good.
68. Elodie's expedition.
You know the commanders of every expedition.
Expedition 68. Their boat was blown into the air by a storm. Lumiere lost sight of it, but assumed they crashed on the continent.
And they survived. The storm, at least.
All right, let's keep moving. We found the weird corals. Mael must be close by.
Wait. Careful. Looks like a different species.
Doesn't matter. They're between us and Mael.
So they've got this semi-live action type thing, and you can see here whatever they did. I mean, it looked like that thing was coming right at him. So I don't really understand if the first strike thing was like. I'm wondering if you can sneak up on these enemies and like start the combat somehow with the live elements of it, and then it flows into this turn-based thing. And this style, like, this is very Persona kind of style right here, which is fantastic. I don't think this is an Atlas game, but just the way that the menu works, the way the world the way the world looks, all of this is gorgeous. And then there is that like quick time, like you've got to hit it right when it's coming by that little dot right there. So it just gets that little interaction. It kind of keeps you in the game. So it's not just the same button over and over again, and you feel like your eyes are going to dry out.
Stain them.
Thanks, guys. You know, I like that there too, that you've got to stay with the game. So it's kind of turn-based, but kind of action. Like you do need to dodge or block or parry or whatever. Like I said, it keeps me in it. It keeps me interested. It keeps the combat feeling fresh all the time. I mean, this looks amazing. And I think this is a smaller team. Completely different place. I mean, obviously still rocks and everything, but this is very much what the new Elden Ring DLC did. It was not a huge map, but every place felt different. It was very unique. The last couple of years have taught us that art direction beats graphics every single time. There was a graphics race for a lot of years, and now we're realizing it was always the way to go.
Over there. A hut.
Slow down. We don't know what's inside yet.
I'm wondering what this flag is. It looks like there's an interact type thing on there, so I don't know. They didn't really break down a lot of the mechanics of this, but
building has a certain melancholy beauty. A lone outpost of humanity nestled amongst the corals. A sailor lost at sea.
Our resident cynic is now.
Wouldn't expect a Cartesian engineer to understand beauty.
And it doesn't look like you're doing like a bunch of platforming, but I do like the whole grapple hook thing. I like when games employ a little bit of verticality so you can explore and not just be on the same level the entire time. It's fun. They can hide little secrets. It's a nice little layer that doesn't feel too gamified or too forced.
This should help.
So I've been following this one a little bit, and it sounds like it's going to be slightly open world, like you're going to have a base where you can do your upgrades and whatnot, and then go out and explore the painted world. And like I said, the concept of the painted world, I think, is cool. And it looks like this art team is up to the challenge of being very creative. And, you know, if your main antagonist is a paintress, then the world should be very creative. And it looks like it is so far. And this is one of their boss battles.
On guard!
It looks like it might be a little difficult, though. I mean, they're doing very little damage. So I don't know if that's just part of this little demo thing, but this they speed this up because these fights might take a long time. So that might put a lot of pressure on you to get those dodges and those parries right. Otherwise, your team is going to be decimated if you can't get that, because it looks like you can't just power your way through this fight. I don't know. This one looks beautiful. I think this one's coming out in 2 months. I'm super, super excited about that one. I don't really know how there will be enough time for all of these games, because that one, unfortunately, that one looks like another that's going to be a long one. And yeah, yes, it is. It's Shadow Heart's voice actress, and she was fantastic in Baldur's Gate 3. But that one does, I am afraid, carry some of the downsides of like a JRPG or an Atlas game or something. I want to play Metaphor ReFantasio, but that's a really long one. That's the only thing that's really worrying me about Clair Obscur is I think that one's I haven't heard otherwise. I haven't heard that it's long, but it just, most turn-based games are. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle that, if it's going to feel really padded for that reason, or if I'm going to have the time to play all of it. I don't know. This one, I won't play the trailer because it's all in Japanese. I don't get to use my Switch very much. My kids have pretty much monopolized that. But if you like puzzles, you will like all the Professor Layton games. It's just puzzles. It's kind of a bare bones story, but I have a soft spot for Professor Layton. They're super duper fun. And there's a new one coming out for the Switch. Maybe it'll make its way to mobile, like the Diabolical Box, and the other ones are on phones, so you can buy those later. Maybe I'll buy this one later. Back to movies. I don't know if you guys are mad about this like I'm mad about this, but I realize that I'm unreasonably angry about this live action, partly because I thought that DreamWorks was above this crap. I thought this was like a Disney-only cash grab cancer, and now DreamWorks is doing it. And the other thing that bothers me is that this is a relatively new movie. Why are we doing this? Why are we... The first How to Train Your Dragon movie is a great movie. Like, it's a film. That's one of those DreamWorks movies. I understand they're kind of hit and miss. They have some goofy stuff. But that's one of theirs, like Puss in Boots 2, that's actual film. It's not like a kid's cartoon, whatever. That's a solid ass movie. So what is added by making this live action? And if I want to watch that movie, I will just go watch that movie. And I have multiple times. It's fantastic. Like, it's not novel. The novelty is gone. Nothing is going to happen in this that couldn't happen in the animation. That's going to make it feel better or cooler or whatever. Like, oh my God, this is... Ugh. What I'll give them is that it doesn't look awful. Like, they did put effort into it. but it still has no point.
You carry this axe. You carry all of us with you.
Dad, I can't kill dragons.
But you will.
I'm a Viking. I'm a Viking!
Never heard of Still Wakes the Deep, but I'll look into that. See, this I was afraid was going to look terrible. That's not the nightmare fuel that I thought it was going to. Like, I really thought it was going to look horrific. And honestly, live action Toothless, it looks good. If you were trying to make a live action Toothless, why would you? Don't know. Shouldn't have. But they did a good job at a task no one asked them to do.
It's okay.
So, I mean, like, it looks good. It really does. Like, props to the animation team. It looks great. But what is it? So in this trailer, they do this.
I won't hurt you.
They do this shot for shot thing. And okay, we're doing the shot for shot deal like we did with the animated. So then my question remains, why are we doing it? What is the point? If we're just going to redo it, why are we doing it? And then if we're going to change, like if we're hiding the changes, if that's going to be sprung on us, well, then why are we changing it? The first movie was incredible. Why would we change it? There's no good answers. No good answers in this. Stupid. And they're doing a live action Lilo and Stitch too. That I do think is going to be, that's going to be nightmare fuel. That's going to be awful. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and you know what's really sad is that it's going to make the money. What makes me, the only huge disappointment from last year is that Moana 2 made so much money. Did you guys see Moana 2? It was absolute trash. And it made all the money. And it's going to give Disney the worst lessons they're going to learn from it. And this one will as well. This is going to make so much money. It doesn't even matter how, I don't know how much it costs to make. I haven't seen any costs. I don't care if it costs $200 million. It's going to make that back. It's going to double that. It's going to make all the marketing back. It's going to make all the money. And then they'll want to keep doing it because it is profitable. And that absolutely kills me. Ugh. Yeah, I need to, Metaphor is long. I looked it up and because I was all pumped because I'd heard all these great things about it and it was, part of the Game of the Year thing. And I was like, man, that sounds great. I like Atlas games. They're stylish. And then I saw some of the estimated time and I just thought, I just don't. I unfortunately just don't have the time for it. I have to pass on games now. It's weird. It's that paradox of when you're young, you don't have any money, but you've got time. And then you get older and you don't have any time, you got money. Now, this one, earlier, somebody asked me if I ever stream games. I don't make a habit of it normally because I'm usually just too busy to stream a lot, as you guys have noticed anyway. And that is, going forward, memberships are going to be launching soon. I was supposed to keep saying that, but soon there'll be memberships whenever I get my crap together. And then a lot of these streams will be private because they'll be a lot more interactive. But then I think a couple times a year, I like this format where we'll just watch some trailers together. We'll keep those public and we'll just kind of see what's coming up and watch some show and movie trailers and that sort of thing. Why did I start this line of thought? What was I saying? Why did I start saying this? Oh, somebody asked me about the streaming. And if I am going to stream a game, and I might, this will be the one that I would stream with my son. We played a lot of It Takes Two, and this is from the same studio. And I think it could be humorous to stream because they make these games that are 2-player games. You gotta check this out.
We sure caused a lot of explosions.
Okay. So this company, I didn't play their first game. It was called A Way Out because I think it was an online thing and my kids were young, but it was a game about escaping from prison. And it's they make games that you have to play with other people. So it is kind of a small audience, but you and another person had to find a way to escape from prison. And I heard nothing but good things about this game. And this is their specialty. So then their next game was called It Takes Two. And you play as a couple that is going to get divorced, and their child wishes that you wouldn't and accidentally turns you into little dolls. And then you have to work your way through the house. So you're a little tiny, and you have to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, all up through the tree in the backyard, underground, all through parts of the shed. And every level would have a different mechanic. Like in one, you had magnets strapped to your back, and you had to, the two people, you would have to either magnetize to each other or push each other away, you cannot beat these games without the two of you doing it. And every single level had a different mechanic. You had a different little thing strapped to your back. Like in one of them, you had a little gun that would shoot like honey, and then the other person had a gun that would shoot matchsticks and explode the honey. So the one person had to glob it on, and the other person had to light it. And so they make these cooperative games. And the amount of mechanics that they put into it that they only use for a minute, like there was a Street Fighter game portion for all of 5 minutes that it suddenly became Street Fighter, and it never happens again. Like the amount of work they put into it, and it's good too. It wasn't half-assed. The amount, it's stunning game. It won Game of the Year, totally deserved it. It's outstanding. And this is going to continue the exact same thing. And the premise of this, I think, is going to make, again, the art is going to be incredible. This we're in art era. That's going to be the thing going forward, and this is going to be one of them. Look at how beautiful.
You better get ready, because I'm about to show you Hazelight's next co-op adventure called Split Fiction. Now, let me tell you this. Get ready for a ride. You play as Mio and Zoe, two aspiring writers that hope to get published by a new tech company that can simulate their stories to life.
I can't do this.
Please calm down. No! Accidentally, they end up in the same simulation.
What are you doing in my story? Something bad is going on here.
And there, they find out that their stories are about to get stolen. No one escapes my simulation.
I know that there's going to be headlines. I hope it doesn't come true, because just, this is the problem. My brain is messed up now because of all the crap, but just instantly my cynical self was like, oh, they're going to fall in love, and he's obviously the villain because he's a white guy. Like, I hate that I've been trained to think that way because of all the shitty ass projects that have been put out. Hopefully Hazelight hasn't done weird crap like that. So I'm giving them credit, benefit of the doubt, because like I said, their games are excellent.
And in order to save them, they have to escape back to reality through the very worlds that they created.
Hands above your heads.
But the thing is, they're strangers, and Miu writes sci-fi, while Zoe writes fantasy. So you will, for every level in the game, jump between a sci-fi world and a fantasy world.
See, what an amazing concept. Like that already, I'm already excited that they'll keep bouncing around. These games are great they're always changing things up. It Takes Two look different every single level. The mechanics were different every time. Even the dialogue was pretty good. You were a married couple that, like I said, you were going through a divorce, and so it was like a Parent Trap type thing. You were forced to work together. There was a talking book that was giving you love advice. It was crazy, and you were slowly working through your problems as you completed the game. So I don't know what they're going to do with these two strangers or whatever, but like this is the stuff that I'm talking about, where mute that for a second. This is the stuff that I'm talking about with this game, where boom, what all of a sudden we're going to have a Contra thing, and I bet you that's going to be it. They're going to do that, and then you'll probably never come back to this, and it's also going to play great if their previous work is anything to go off of. Suddenly there was a 2D platformer. We're doing what was that one for Xbox? Wave something HD. We're going to do a racing game. We're going to do a 2D platformer all of a sudden right here. We've got like Ori and the Blind Forest type stuff going on. This is going to end some marriages. I can already tell. And that was, I'll talk about that in just a second, because that's the one. I hope they put a spouse mode in this game. Yeah, we had a Kerbal Space Program thing going on there. Now we've got swinging platforming. These games, it's crazy. When I played It Takes Two, I was just absolutely blown away at the amount of work and creativity and fresh ideas that were always being thrown at me. It was wild.
We at Hazelight love variation, and you'll have a unique mechanic for every level. Let me give you some examples. In this level, you start out by finding dragon eggs that hatch.
Hey, stop licking.
And then they become a little bit bigger dragons with new abilities. But in the end, they grow up to be full-ass dragons. And now, you can fly around and kick ass.
See, and that's that stuff where one of the dragons is going to have some ability and the other, and you'll have to work together. And so that's that thing. You can find these montages of guys trying to play with, it's usually guys trying to play with their wives who don't usually play video games. And this seems like the kind of thing that, like, it's pretty casual. The two of you can just get to it. Though the one deficiency of It Takes Two is that there wasn't like a spouse mode. Like, if your spouse is not a gamer and you're like, hey, this is something we could do together, this is a great time, we can just play this cooperative game, we have to work together, it could be fun, it's goofy, there's a lot of laughs because there's a lot of mistakes. But then sometimes the platforming, there's a minimum skill level. And I've seen stuff online where, like, some people just, they've never played games, they don't understand the mechanics of them and the logic and all that kind of stuff, the timing. So I'm hoping with this one, because I would love to play with this with my wife, but she couldn't play It Takes Two. Like, just, she doesn't play games. The last game we played together was Child of Light, because she was able to just do the 2D little floating thing. Or we played Mario Galaxy because she was able to collect little stars with the Wiimote or whatever. Like, we've done stuff like that, but there's oftentimes a skill threshold that she's not interested in. So I'm wondering if they'll do that for this, like the second player, or like, you have a young kid, like you got a 5-year-old kid that doesn't really know how to play video games that well, but they want to play a game with you. And, like, wouldn't it be great if they could feel like they're doing something and you don't have to hand them a dummy controller, like, oh, here's your controller that's not plugged in, but they could still participate? That would be really interesting. I would love to see them do something like that.
In another level, you play these ball droids that can magnetize and shift to different forms. And then the droids become your exosuits. And you can now attack and hack different objects. Here's another one. You play as pigs, and they later become...
That pig just torpedoed with a fart. It looked like this is... You see what I'm saying? Like, this looks like a totally different game. This is a great company.
Anyway, let's not talk about that level.
What is that?
For now. And as always, with the Friends Pass, you only need to buy one copy of the game to play it with your friend online. That's what Hazelight is about. You need to buy one copy about that level for now. And as always, with the Friends Pass, you only need to buy one copy of the game to play it with your friend online. That's what Hazelight is about. No loot boxes, no microtransactions, and no bullshit. You just get the game. Bigger dragons with new abilities.
That excites me very much, more than it should. And that is also a really sad, that's a really sad commentary on where we're at, that when a guy is like, no loot boxes and no microtransactions, and we're like, yay! Like, how sad is that this guy just said, I'm going to sell you a game and you only have to buy the game to play the game. And we get excited. That's so depressing. But the other thing, though, that is actually good. Like, you only have to buy one copy of this and then you can play with somebody else, even online. That's awesome. I mean, they're giving half the game away at that point. If you only have to buy one copy and your friend doesn't have to, like, that's the most consumer friendly shit. You never see that in gaming anymore. And I'm so excited about that. Spelled your name right. See you next stream. Thank you so much, Brian. $10. That is very generous. I appreciate you hanging out, and I hope to see you. And I'll see you in the next one. See you next time. I don't have my cup with me. See you next time.
You have unpaid parking tickets. Time to die.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there's like Tron stuff going on there. Oh my goodness. The premise of it, that they're having to make up stories and then play through their own stories to get out, and kind of a Tron kind of way. And it just goes back and forth between sci-fi and fantasy. Every single thing about that is making me so pumped. And I know that my son's gonna be pumped about it too. Like, we're gonna play together. It's gonna be so much fun. Oh, that's gonna be so much. Oh, so pumped. So this one, again, was on my 2024 list, and procrastination is a disease, and I have a real late stage, because when I made that video last year, I noted that this is by the same director of Parasite, and I was like, oh, before this comes out, I'm going to watch Parasite. Still haven't done that. So anyway, that one's real famous, and it's apparently very, very good. Same director. And this one is about Robert Pattinson this time, for real. And I thought this was going to be like a kind of a depressing existential sort of horror, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a comedy. Check this out.
On Earth, nothing was working out, and I wanted to get the hell out of there.
You're applying to be an expendable?
You read through the paperwork. Yeah. I should have read through it.
That's it. Nicky, deep breaths, fill your lungs. Imagine there's an unknown virus in the air, and you're sucking in every single microscopic particle floating around. All the viruses. So good?
There really was an unknown virus in the air. Lethal one.
See you tomorrow.
His accent is crazy in this. Robert Pattinson has range. I mean, I think Twilight, a lot of people thought he was a joke. He's a serious actor. And yeah.
Fellow pioneers, almost every single one of you will be remembered throughout history.
They made me work my ass off, giving me one shitty mission after another.
You're an expendable. You're here to be expended.
Every time I died, they just printed me out again. Everyone asked, what's it feel like to die? The ship was filled with mostly dickheads.
See, this looks crazy, right? Like, he signs up to just be a human experiment and do dangerous shit and then get cloned every time. And that's why I thought that originally, because the original, it wasn't even a trailer. It was just like a slow-mo on Robert Pattinson as it slowly spun, and it was on like a table that he just got printed. And so I thought it was going to be like this existential, who am I? Am I the real clone? I have all these memories. Like, I thought they were going to go into that. And it looks like it's more of a kind of a red faction. The corpos are doing this, and they're going to revolt, and there might be a lot of kind of comedy from the looks of this trailer. I don't. This is not what I expected, and I'm still excited for it.
But Nasha, she's always loved me. That's when everything changed. Multiple.
In the case of multiples, we exterminate every individual.
Which body goes first? One at a time is twice the fun.
You don't look like you're printed out. You're just a person.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be funny, but they're doing this thing where they're putting this goofy music in all of these trailers, and everybody's like overacting, like the corpo people are just chewing the scenery up. And so I'm thinking that that's on purpose.
This is a fight to the death.
Said it's from a goofy novel. Now I gotta look that up.
The simple fact is, we're in a state of war. And our survival is in the balance.
I got a job to do.
That accent is so weird. It's like the most Gilbert Grape. Like,
Mickey Bonds, fighting right to the end.
My great gift to mankind. Are you afraid to die? This time I wasn't scared.
I'm down. I'm down for that. A lot of great stuff coming out in March. A lot of good games, a lot of good looking movies coming out. I don't know. I'm sure a few of them are going to be disappointed, and I'm sure the editor is fooling me on a lot of these. Somebody commented that on today's Captain America 4. Like, those trailers look good. I mean, no lie, they look like good. If you didn't know anything else and you just saw that trailer, you're like, oh wow, Marvel's back. So I'm sure some of these are absolutely fooling me, and I am going to be so disappointed. But that one looks like a lot of fun. I'm pumped. Well, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, he looks like he lost a bunch of weight, and then the voice, I think, makes him even sound younger. So this is another one of those like indie ones that I was talking about, where a lot of people play games. We're not real happy with the big studios. They're making a lot of trash and they're overcharging for it a few years ago. And I don't know if it's on Game Pass or if you can find it like on one of these subscriptions. And I'm also interested in the Secret Invasion. Yeah, the Secret Invasion trailers looked amazing, and that I didn't even watch the entire show. I quit, and I was getting paid to make reviews, like, and I still didn't want to do it. It was depressingly bad. The video games are not great, and I was talking earlier about some smaller games, and let me know your guys' thoughts on game subscriptions, because I think it's a bit of a divisive topic, and that's something that I want to dive into in video form at some point, because I can see how they might be ruining gaming, but then at the same time, sometimes I think they give you access to things that maybe you wouldn't risk spending money on. And a few years ago, I tried this game called Moonlighter, and it was this, 2D looking pixel old school kind of game, and you run a shop, but your guy has dreams of being an adventurer, and nearby there's this dungeon that's been sealed off, it's dangerous, whatever, and there's legends about it. And the game was weird because you would go into it and you would fight your way through as far as you could get, and then try to escape with whatever you had, and then you would sell it at your shop. So it was two games, where one, it was a dungeon crawler, a Zelda style move from room to room and try to get to the end boss. And then after that, you would play shopkeeper, and you would have to display your stuff and put prices on them, and not price them too high because customers wouldn't want to buy them, but not price them too low to get yourself out of money, and then build the town up so you can get better equipment. So you kind of had this town builder sort of peaceful Stardew Valley sort of thing, but then also this Zelda dungeon crawler. It was a very unique game. It was very cool. And now there is a sequel.
It should be easy. Yours is not. And yet, you want more. You seek wealth. A golden future for your friends. Does your ambition...
I like the upgrade. I like this low poly look that a lot of indies are going with. It looks nice enough without being too big budget and without requiring too many resources of them. This is very sort of Tunic looking. The other one was a pixel art, like full on pixel art, but this is more of a 3D, and I like it.
Meet no end. Tell me, little merchant, how much can you take?
Yeah, not a ton on that one, and there's not even a good date. And I think that one probably is going to go to subscription. So yeah, I'm interested to see what everybody thinks about game subscriptions, because I know some people think that it's not good, and it's causing us to get these sort of half-assed games, sort of like Netflix, right? Like Netflix is full of slop. I mean, that's part of their business model, is for them to be able to say there's 20,000 shows and movies you could watch, but 99% of them are hot garbage, but that's their thing. And so Game Pass, PS Plus, they could be encouraged to fund crappy games to pad out their deal. But then I also see some positives in that, and maybe this is just a me problem, but as much as I hate big studios, I also weirdly, counterintuitively, don't know the indie ones. So I don't even know where to find them, and B, I don't know their track record, so I don't even know what kind of games they make. So the subscriptions are kind of a nice low risk way to try some of these things out. And if I'm being generous, things like I played Ori and the Blind Forest on Game Pass, and now when No Rest for the Wicked comes out from Moon Studio, same studio, even if it's not on the subscription, I'm probably going to buy that one. As a matter of fact, I might buy early access to that one. So in the long run, it could be beneficial to a studio like that because it got me as a customer when it was, free as part of the subscription. And now I know that studio makes good stuff. And now I want to invest in that studio more. But I do see the counter arguments of I don't know how much they get paid. I don't know if it's a good model for them, sort of like Audible. I don't know if that's helpful for the authors or not. I know that it moves a lot of books, more books than people might buy otherwise, but maybe financially they might be getting screwed. So I don't really know. I don't know how that works. But anyway, that one looks good. And the first one was fun, and I have no doubt that that's going to be fun too. To be honest, I don't know. I think my kid's got to go to bed soon, so I got to go to bed soon too. Let's see here. I want to show you guys this one first because let's see here. We won't look at Phantom Blade, although that looks amazing. Don't look up the second Sinners trailer. If you think this looks interesting, don't look up the second trailer because it gives too much away. That's why I want you to watch this first one. This looks cool as hell, and if it looks cool, go watch this movie. Don't look up anything else about it. Be surprised. Now I'm not, unfortunately.
I've been all over this world. I've seen men die.
I don't know if in this one, I don't know if they say it. This is Ryan Coogler. So this is Black Panther director. Obviously, that's Michael B. Jordan. These guys make a good team. God, this looks great.
Ways I ain't even know was possible. Hey, brother. Be careful. I will.
All right, there it was.
With all the things that I've seen. I ain't ever seen no demons. No ghosts. No magic. Till now. To get back inside. Let me in, man. Some weird shit going on out here. You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
I mean, this looks great, right? Like, obviously, there's not a lot of plot, and like I said, I did watch the second trailer. Will tell you more of the plot. If you want to be spoiled, that's fine. If you don't watch that one. But look how beautiful this looks. I mean, just a great, like, cinematography wise, this is a great looking movie, and it. Yeah, I don't think my wife's going to want to go see that one with me. She's not a big scary movie. And I'm not. It's not like a super scary premise. Like, I don't think that it's going to be one of those, like, sits with you and disturbs you sort of thing. I think it's just more of like a jumpy scare type thing. That one looks really good. It looks just scary enough, just action enough. That's, yeah, I want to see that one real bad. I did not watch the Lord of the Rings anime thing. It just looked bad. I was busy enough in December. I didn't even watch it. Oh, when it streams, maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, like I said, don't watch the second one. And then here's another. Well, hang on. This right here. This is another. Like earlier, I said we were watching Ballerina, and I'll never get ever tired of walking the suiting up in the room full of displayed organized guns. I'll never get tired of that. I will also never get tired of Jason Statham kicking people's asses. I don't care what the plot is. Don't care. Watch it every time.
So listen, today's gonna be hard. Let's all go home with the same amount of fingers that we came with. Let's get it. When my wife passed and I left the Royal Marines, a lot of people would have given up on me. You gave me a job. You were patient with me. You, Carla, Jenny, you're my family.
Excuse me, it's not your business.
I'm good, boss.
I for real thought that was Ben from Viva La Dirt League. The first time I watched it, I was like, did he get like a walk-on? It's not.
Levin, was that some military shit?
Hey, you didn't see anything.
Just get my back if I ever need it.
Jenny's missing.
Yeah, March is going to be packed. Fortunately, some of this is streaming stuff, so that's good.
She went out with her friends on Friday.
The police don't have the resources to work these cases. They take a report and forget about it.
Please, find our daughter. Where's the girl?
You a cop?
You wish I was a cop.
So these guys are next level.
Look at those bricks. You ain't a cop. You're a working man.
That's right. Let's play.
See this right here? Like man on a mission, vigilante, Jason Statham. Never get, but they could just keep making this over and over. I don't care. It's awesome.
This isn't just some kidnapping. This is human trafficking. Remember Gunny?
Your blind ward buddy that doesn't know he's blind?
That's the one. If you shot a foot to the left, I'll be dead.
I wanted you dead, you'd be dead.
Got a blind guy that can shoot an arrow accurately. Come on. That's just, it's over the top, but I love it.
I will be your weapon sommelier for this evening. This is the real beast here. M14. Pulled direct from Saddam's palace. And I added a Bluetooth scope.
Where is she?
There's a special place, high rollers only. They can do anything as long as they pay.
Gangs, the mob, corrupt government officials.
And you got the gearing up scene. Dude has a Bluetooth gun. Like if you describe it, it's dumb. But I don't care. I don't care. It's gonna be awesome. Also, I know this doesn't look like it in this one. Looks like Michael Pena is just, a concerned dad. But if you guys haven't seen Jack Ryan on Amazon with Jim Halpert, I highly suggest that. And I had to look this up because I remember couldn't remember exactly where, but I remember it was one of them. He was in the 4th season of Jack Ryan. And if you know Michael Pena from the Ant-Man movies and you're like, oh, hey, funny guy, Michael Pena, whatever, he's terrifying in Jack Ryan. Like, he's frightening. He can do serious shit and he's scary at it. He's good. He's got range. He's not just the silly dude. He's good.
Officials, they're all involved in human trafficking. You're on the payroll too.
You killed your way into this. You're gonna have to kill your way out of it.
Food as much.
All of this is for a girl.
I'm not stopping until I bring her home. That's for slapping that woman.
That woman was my wife.
That's for slapping your wife.
Who are you? What are you?
It's gonna be excellent. It's like Taken, but just from the reverse side, and with Statham. I'm never ever gonna get bored of that ever. I'm gonna watch that one. Yeah, he's awesome. I don't even know how to properly $300. I don't know how to say thank you in a way that, even thank you. That is incredibly, incredibly generous. Doc said, just want to let you know I enjoy your videos, and this is the first stream I've caught. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know you guys have been hanging out with me for a long time, and I appreciate that. Yeah, the weapon smiley thing. That's just such a cool line. Let's do, well, you know what? I got two more. Screw it. We'll just do these last two, and then we'll wrap it up. This one, while I was looking for stuff today, I just like saw stuff on the side, and this, it looks weird. It's another one of those that you're going to see it, and you're going to be like, okay, now I want to know more about, like, I don't know if it's going to be good, but I want to know more about it. It's one of those. It's like the unicorn
There were two
one.
moments in my life when I was happiest. The first was the day I met Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Iris. And the second, the day I killed him.
Just relax. Remember to smile and act happy. Do they know?
Iris, wake up.
What are you doing? Shut her down already.
What is she talking about, Josh?
I mean, with the boys wrapping up, he's got to find something to do. I didn't watch past season 2 of that. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it got real gross, and I don't know. I couldn't stomach it anymore, but I liked him in that one.
This was not part of the plan.
I didn't mean to.
Did you jailbreak your sex bot?
Wow, Josh. The day.
So I read through some of the comments. I guess this didn't get a lot of traction a few months ago. There was another trailer, and the director apparently has said, yeah, the sex robot thing, kind of unfortunately had to reveal that to sort of get some interest and get people talking about this. But apparently the director has said that's pretty early on that is revealed. So it's not a huge twist. And then there's even more crazy stuff that happens. And I'm like, if that's the least crazy thing, and there's more, like, yeah.
Days of you controlling me are over.
Are you breaking up with me?
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah, she's tied up inside, so she's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm.
Eli, Iris. Shh, baby, you're on the phone.
Yeah, it's right. Is it not one of those ones that you're like, I don't know if it's going to be great. I don't know if it's going to be just crazy and weird and dumb, but I'm intrigued. I am. I said 2 more, but I also did say that I was going to earlier. Somebody suggested this, and I did ask for suggestions. I didn't see the first one of these, so I don't even know what this is about. And Warhammer is one of those things that I'm hesitant to get into because it's almost like I have a Lego problem as it is. So I don't know that I want to get into this because I know me, and I know the problems that I have. So that it concerns me to even start Warhammer. I didn't play Space Marine 2 either. Like, I haven't gotten into this because it just seems like it's so big that it almost overwhelms me to think about. But I bet this is cool. Yeah, cool as hell. That's all you can say. It's cool as shit. Does someone know where this is? Is this a theater thing? Is this going to be on streaming? Like, what is the... hopefully someone in the comments knows like where I can catch this, because if it's not a super big investment, like if it's just like a cool movie, this looks cool. It just, the Warhammer thing, it's like I said, it feels like a big universe that I don't know that I even want to start. Next year. It looks cool though. I mean, just come on, the vibe of that is awesome. It's the whole the concept of Warhammer it's cool. It's cool as hell. And that looks like a blast. Maybe between now and then I'll dip my toes into it a little bit. But yeah, not even Cavill is going to drag me into that one just yet. All right, so this last one is, again, this was like I had a list of a few things that I was looking at, and this popped up on the side, and I thought, oh, okay, this looks kind of cool. Do you guys remember Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Jane Aniston? That like sort of spy comedy action thing. What if it was more serious?
Where are you off to?
Black bag.
Right. You asked how it works. To be with someone in this business, this is how. You each know what you know, and you know what you'll do, and you never discuss certain things again. I watch her, I assume she watches me. I would do anything for you.
Would you?
Yes.
If a situation presents itself, would you choose your marriage over everything else?
My devotion to my marriage is my profession.
I can't think of her name. It wasn't Jen Aniston. It was all I can think of her from is Gone in 60 Seconds. I can't think of her name. But anyway, yeah, this is like that. It's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but more serious. Not a rom-com with a little bit of action. And this is the kind of stuff that Cate Blanchett should be doing, right? The Borderlands movie, I don't know who told her to do that. I don't know why she decided to do it. Complete whiff. This is great. And Michael Fassbender is fantastic. This looks like a great cast and a great premise, because they obviously they're going to have to not trust each other and all that, and it's going to keep you guessing. And
Professional weakness. Love you.
You got a breach. What did you do? One of our people stole something.
Something extremely valuable.
You cannot imagine the damage. Find the leak.
How long do you think you'll need? Give me 2 weeks. Thousands of innocent people will die. Okay? 1 week. Who's the suspect?
Your wife.
I can feel when you're watching me.
yeah, Pierce Brosnan, always good. And I've got mixed feelings on Regé-Jean Page. He was in... There was another spy thing that he was in. And honestly, he wasn't bad. I think a lot of people saw him in Bridgerton and they thought, oh, he's the new that guy, that he's going to be doing that stuff. But he's done the serious roles before. Like I said, he was in a some kind of espionage project that I can't think of the name of right now, but he wasn't bad. And he doesn't look terrible in this. Everything about this looks amazing.
Sorry.
I like it.
When you can lie about everything, when you can deny everything, how do you tell the truth about anything?
I need a satellite redirect, but this has to be unofficial.
You are one naughty husband, George.
You think this isn't normal? The way you're doing this, just so you know.
What's on the menu?
Fun and games.
Is it true? No one can lie to you?
I don't like liars.
See, and I wonder if they're gonna do the Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing. Are they gonna realize they love each other in the end, and then they turn against the agency together, or like which is somebody who's playing who? I love spy thrillers.
If it is Catherine, do you really think you can do it? I don't know. Maybe this is all your greatest game, George.
It's a very dangerous line of work.
I'll say.
Would you kill for me, George? Would you?
Kind of feels like old Mission Impossible vibes, right? Like early on before it became a super over-the-top action series. Oh, man. That's going to be a good one. Well, look, you guys have hung out with me a long time, and I don't want to take up everybody's entire evening. And I was going to do these, like, I said this was going to be the last public one, but honestly, I like this format a lot, and I think this would work really good for the public streams. Soon, there will be memberships, and those streams will be obviously private membership, and those will be more interactive, where I take your ideas and we kind of work some things, and you guys can really influence some videos and influence parts of the channel, and we can interact, get to know each other a little bit better. But I think maybe a couple times a year, maybe 3-4 times a year, I think I might stick with this format, and we'll just watch some trailers and stuff like this, see what's coming up. This is yeah, I like this a lot, and I'll get your guys input on stuff to watch next time, so I don't got to just make it all up, and we can watch and hopefully see some more shows that are coming out, things like that. But yeah, Fassbender, he does creepy really well. He does a good villain. He does a good series. So, yeah, he's good. He was in that the Netflix movie last year, The Killer. That was really good. He did great in that one. I just want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for interacting with me in the chat, and also in my videos. I see you guys in the comments there all the time. So thank you so much for just spending your evening with me. Your time has value, and I appreciate spending with me. And if you're watching this in the future, or you guys think of something later that you're excited about, let me know in that community post, because I'm excited about what's coming out soon. And there is some good stuff. It's not all crap to shit all over, which makes me pretty excited. So I appreciate y'all, and I will see you. Have a good night.